Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is a Friday, St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2023. Of course, everyone's watching the games. A lot of people picked up on the headline. Very well-known Wire actor Lance Reddick found dead at his home from supposedly natural causes at the relatively young age of 60. And while he's a veteran actor who's been in a lot of things, he is mostly remembered for his character on The Wire with the deep, strong voice. And, dead at 60. The Wire ran 60 episodes. He's from Baltimore, Maryland, where The Wire is set. Last night, Maryland had the big win. Maryland beat West Virginia in the 84th tournament, just like how they beat West Virginia in 1984. Again, we knew 84 was going to be a huge number in the tournament, and it absolutely has been. The big 84 school, Arizona, went down to another 84 school in the shocker of the tournament that ruined over 99% of brackets, they said. Princeton Tigers equals 84, and Tigers is 84. But in light of him being from Maryland and them having the big win last night, pretty much the whole media counted Maryland out. I mean, if you watched anyone's bracket, they all had West Virginia to win. We liked Maryland. I liked Maryland because they had the better numbers and because they won in 1984. But, you can just tell that his death's connected to that because Terrapins, the nickname for Maryland, equals 60. And Maryland Terrapins is 82, and he's dead 82 days before his upcoming birthday. But yeah, again, there's been a number of actors now who've died from The Wire by the numbers. And they've all had the racial encode on them as well. The not-so-nice N-word has the Gematria 60. Of course, Baltimore is a predominantly black city. Everyone's watching March Madness, a sport that's predominantly dominated by black men. I imagine at some point he probably played some basketball in his life. He was a taller man, slim build. He looked like a basketball player. Might be something to look into. Did Lance Reddick play basketball? But yeah, R.I.P. to Lance Reddick. And again, it's sad, you guys. It's sad. It's sad how the media just gets away with reporting that these people die from natural causes. I mean, these are multimillionaires. They have all the money in the world to take care of their health. All these celebrities that supposedly die from cancer. Meanwhile, wealthy upper middle class Americans are flying into Seattle for $1 million cancer treatment that saves their life, which means all these celebrities can afford it too. Again, it just doesn't add up. Well, I say it doesn't add up, but then it adds up every time, really, when you know the cabal code. Gematria. Again, look up that song, Gematria, the killing name. 2 members of that band are dead by the Gematria, the killing name code. And again, also look up the song Murder by Numbers, where killing's the sport of the elite. It's as simple as ABC as 1, 2, 3. I did say that Lance Reddick died 82 days before his birthday, and Maryland Terrapins equals 82, which is true. You could also say he died a span of 83 days from his upcoming birthday, and the word murder is 83. 83 is the 23rd prime. Here we are in 2023. So it's sad, man. Omar, I can't remember the character's name that ran the rib shop that Kevin Spacey always ate at. But, or wait, hold on, Snap. Was it? Maybe that wasn't The Wire. Was that, I might be twisting shows. That character was also in The Wire, but I think actually that was in House of Cards. Yeah, Kevin Spacey wasn't in The Wire. Getting my shows crossed. But that actor who ran that rib shop also went out by the numbers. Remember what I'm talking about. So, yeah, anyway, that's today's big tragic news. And there's a clue in another death that happened recently. Billy Packer died on January 26th, the anniversary of Kobe Bryant's death, the anniversary of Bear Bryant's death. Can't think of his wingman. His wingman died on that day 22 years earlier to the day. Used to call games with him. All dying on January 26th. But Billy Packer, the big headline was that he called 34 straight NCAA tournaments. And remember, the championship this year is on the 3rd day of the 4th month. And the last championship he called was 2008, which Kansas won, the 34th state, who won it last year by the numbers. Something to keep in mind. The first ever championship he called was in '75, the year they made it a 32-team tournament. And that was their UCLA, who's got the most championships ever, beat Kentucky, the Blue Bloods. But yeah, just watching the games right now and just do some commentary on the games. Maybe we can get some other people in the stream who want to join. This is streaming on GematriaEffectNews 25 and Gematria Effect Sports. And if people want to come in, talk tournament, I mean, really, my real goal with getting out this knowledge is just for people to see how sick it is, man. The ritual sacrifices that go with these sports games, college and pro, how rigged the games are, and I can't believe people can't see it. I mean, it's just like yesterday, and there's no way. It's literally impossible for a team like Princeton to beat Arizona in a real basketball game unless Arizona wants to lose. And I'm sure today some Arizona players, they probably got some extra cash in their pockets. But just a way bigger, more athletic team that couldn't score for the last 5 minutes of the game. I mean, that doesn't happen in a real basketball game. You put the Princeton scrubs on the floor with the athletes of Arizona, it's going to look ugly. It's going to look ugly. A real game score is probably going to be like 80-30. Could be even worse. It's amazing how people fall for this stuff. But the reason they do that, right? That's how they brand the league. Just like the NFL. It's a totally scripted league. Any given Sunday, anyone can win. March Madness, a team like Princeton can knock off a top contender like Arizona. That's what keeps people watching. And, it's just like yesterday. Yesterday, I had to go, to an appointment, and little guy was I'm not the biggest guy in the world. I'm 5'10", but I mean, this guy that I had to go do the appointment with, he's a shorter guy. He's probably like 5'7", and he was all big-eyed. He's like, "Man, you've been watching the games today?" He's like, "I'm taking all tomorrow off to watch all the games." I said, I don't really watch the games. He's like, "Really?" He's like, "I love it." I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I mean, yeah, it's kind of fun, but," I said, "I don't want to ruin it for you." He was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Don't even worry about it." I said, "Enjoy the games tomorrow." I didn't want to ruin it for him, but just a little guy, he didn't look like an athlete. Looked like he never played these games in his life. Anyone who plays sports should not be fooled by NCAA rigged athletics or professional athletics. If you've ever played these games, you should know this kind of stuff is impossible day in and day out. And, it's just like Xavier today. They had to keep it exciting. If Xavier played all game, they would have blew out that other school. That other school was actually decent size, but Xavier a lot better team. And, of course, they rallied back like it was nothing to win the game. But yeah, just year after year, just these really dumb storylines. When Virginia lost to University of Maryland, Baltimore County, I mean, just completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. And that was all part of the ritual for Virginia to come back the next year and win the championship. Get shamed the year before, come back and win the championship by the numbers next year. And again, for all you guys who don't support the work, you pay attention to the channel. I give out free gems time and time again. That year, I told everybody in February, Virginia's taking this thing. Look at the news story and look at how it's synced with the championship. It was so obvious. Again, they blame the lieutenant governor of raping a woman at Duke back when he was a student the day before Virginia and Duke played, and his name was perfectly synced with the day of the championship. Not to mention it had the racial code all over it. Next thing you know, Virginia's winning the championship by the exact numbers that sync up with that lieutenant governor's name, just like we talked about in February. And again, you just learn gematria, guys. You look at the halftime scores, the final scores, you'll just be laughing all along the way. Marquette, a team that, I absolutely love in this tournament because of the parallels to 1984. And big number with Marquette, 39. How many points do they have at the half today? 39. On the way to blowing out their opponent. So we'll see how many 1984 rematches they can put together. So far, all the 1984 stuff that's come together has been just like 1984. If Pitt can hang on to beat Iowa State, Xavier versus Pitt was 1984. Xavier beat Pitt in 1984. It's like every year there's an 11 seed that beats a 6 seed, and we'll see. We'll see if Pitt can hang on. They came out destroying Iowa State, but Iowa State's rallied back. It's a little bit tighter game. Rick Pitino, again, doesn't even take notice. It's just like, how many college basketball coaches look like they're also mafiosos? And again, it's just like Vegas. Vegas founded by the mob. Half the college in college basketball, Italians, slick hair, look like they used to run with Al Capone from Pitino to Calipari and beyond. Who's the one that my mom loves? What's his name? I can't even think of it right now. Pat Riley. My mom, it's her favorite man in the whole world that she's not married to. Pat Riley. She just can't get enough old Pat. But yeah, it's something else. And so far, my biggest mulligans on this tournament. I knew Virginia had great numbers to lose, and they did. I didn't like how the media was hyping Furman, but Furman really did have great numbers for the upset. But like we're in the next round where I missed both games. I thought they were going to put Virginia and Charleston together just because King Charles and the Cavaliers. I just thought that looked too perfect. Instead, they both went out next to each other. Virginia and Charleston. It wasn't shocking because both the teams that won had great numbers to win, and they did. But if I had to say the dumbest pick of mine in the first round so far, when I first looked at it, I thought it was no-brainer that Michigan State was going to win, wearing green on St. Patrick's Day. Izzo could get his 54th win in the tournament. He hasn't won in the tournament in a minute, but I see why they saved his 54th win for this year. It's the 84th March Madness. Again, Jesuit equals 84. The Catholic Church, 84. United States of America, 84. The first Jesuit Pope with 84 birth numerology. Remember, the first March Madness was the Jesuit school, Georgetown, losing to the Catholic school, Villanova. It's always big Jesuit Catholic themes in college basketball. All roads lead to Rome. Just like how in 84, Jesuit Georgetown won. Shaka Smart, born on 8-4. We'll see. But, yeah, Michigan State. Izzo got the 54th win. And 54 and 84 peas in a pod. Jesuit Order 54, Spartans 54, and Jesuit 84. And you know what else was nice about how they did it? Again, it was the Spartans versus the Trojans. Spartans versus the Trojans. You know, goes back to Greece, right? Who the Romans took over. Troy and Spartacus. But Trojans equals 25, and Izzo set a record by going to 25 straight tournaments. Trojans 25. Or if it wasn't his 25th straight tournament, it was his 25th tournament. Either way, he set a record. And you might have noticed if you were watching the game, Trojans were down 2-5 at the start. That was a little tribute. But yeah, Michigan State definitely had the better numbers for today, and it was my initial thought. And the reason I ended up crossing, or I should say putting in Trojans to win on my bracket, which I regret, is because I was looking at Marquette. Marquette, they won their game today. They got their 42nd tournament win. And if they win the next one, it was going to be over the winner of Michigan State or USC. I was looking like, well, man, they can get the 43rd win over USC. And everywhere I burned myself on the bracket, it was by ignoring what looked right in the immediate game and looking at the next game ahead. I did it with Boise State, and I did it with I crossed out Penn State and put in who did Penn State play? Oh, Texas A&M. all of those games had the better immediate riddle for the other team, and I went against my initial thought. But so yeah, for all the people out there who are decoding, again, sometimes looking ahead can be helpful, but 3 games I've done that on, and I burned myself in all 3 of those games. But what I was going to say is the reason I ended up going, well, Marquette can get that 43rd win over USC. USC and 43 does play hard. Remember, the Heisman winner this year was from USC, born on the day, leaving 43 days left in the year. And right after he won the Heisman, the former Heisman winner from USC, what did I got to go back and see exactly. I think he died 40. He died like 43 days after the birthday of the current Heisman winner, something like that. It was some huge sick 43 ritual. And again, USC and 43 is a smashing number. The reason that it made all the more sense in the Heisman thing is because the word football is also 43. And don't forget that Yale's 43 because American football is credited to Walter Camp, who went to Yale. But yeah, I just looked ahead and I was like, yeah, maybe that's what they're going to do. Have Marquette pick up the 43rd tournament win over USC. And in a way, you know, Michigan State, Izzo on the 54 wins, Jesuit Order now going to face the Jesuit school Marquette in the 84th tournament. So, yeah, I overthunk it in a few games. And then, the Arizona upset, I'm so annoyed with because I hate when we miss the big upsets in the opening round. And again, really all Princeton had is that Princeton Tigers equals 84 and Tigers alone equals 84. Now you got the battle of the Tigers in the next round, Missouri Tigers versus Princeton. One other thing that was there, that, again, hindsight's always 2020. This is Princeton's 123rd season, and Missouri equals 123. So they're going to face Missouri now in their 123rd season. But, those are the kind of upsets that we've hit a lot in the past, and those are the ones that give you the big payday, but definitely whiffed on it this year. And again, like I said, the two big upsets yesterday, both Virginia and Arizona. They were both in their 118th season. Virginia and Arizona were. March Madness equals 118. And again, those games are what keep the hype alive and keep people watching. It's the any given Sunday thing of college basketball. All of a sudden, a school of Ivy League midgets can lock down a team of giants and lottery picks for 5 minutes of scoreless basketball. Yeah, right. Only when you're shaving point. And just at the end of the Xavier game today, like I don't believe that number 0 or who wears the O, I don't believe he got nerves and missed the lay-in. I believe he missed the lay-in to keep the game exciting, to keep everyone watching the last second. I just like, dude, I mean, it's like you're a Division I player. Everybody's got nerves, but you're a Division I basketball player. You made it to the big stage. You got skills. You don't miss wide open lay-ins at the rim to keep the game enticing down to the last second. I mean, it's just like, come on, man. And he didn't just miss the lay-in. I mean, he like missed the lay-in. Like he'd never played basketball before. Totally wide open. And it's just, come on, man. By the way, if you guys haven't seen the commercial they've been playing, that blackout March Madness commercial. See if we get a little predictive programming. Remember, they've been doing those simulations year after year. The same people who put on Event 201, they've been doing the, God, what do they call it? The name is escaping me, but they've done it like 3 or 4 years in a row now. It's always around July. They keep simulating a big blackout. And again, that was what Janet Napolitano said way back in 2013. Someday there's going to be a big old blackout in this country because there's going to be some kind of terrorist attack on the grid, some kind of cyber attack. But yeah, the funny thing about blackout in basketball, in light of that ad they keep running, blackout in basketball, they both equal 85 in the most simple cipher, like how the first March Madness was an 85, and they both equal 22 when you use numerology, kind of like how Boston equals 85 and 22. And last year, Boston went down easy. That was a nice call last year. Why the Warriors would beat Boston. It was all foretold on the Pope's birthday. But Boston last year playing in their 22nd championship in 22. Curry, Mr. 85, got the W. So, yeah. But yeah, annoying thing over here. We're not doing terrible in the tournament, but this, I'd say in all the years I've done it, so far I'm off to my worst start, which I'm not real happy about. How could I be? But yeah, just looking at it, some overthinking it, man. Sometimes you can overthink things. When you got the knowledge, if the numbers are just screaming out in the game right there, probably better to not even look ahead, because 3 times it's haunted me so far in the opening round. But I'm liking what Pitt's doing so far. As long as they stay alive, we'll be all right. Shout out to Rick. Rick, who's lived his whole life in Vegas, has never gambled, but he's gotten into gambling recently, watching the work. I'm not trying to turn people into gamblers, but hey, Rick's up $100 on the tournament so far. Well played, Rick. Rick's a little bit older. He's got that veteran intelligence, that veteran wisdom. Pitt up 14 with 6 minutes left. We like it. I was feeling really good about the Pitt-Xavier rematch in 1984. If you guys didn't notice, again, Jesuits love the number 84, and it's funny how they put the bracket together. In East Region, you got one big Jesuit program. You got Gonzaga in one. You got Creighton. You know what's interesting about Creighton? We'll see what happens with Creighton today. Oh, they're up on NC State. Okay, they're up on 9 with 6 minutes left. The interesting thing about Creighton, Paul Silas. Remember Paul Silas died this year? I told you guys for free that day. I said Houston looks like they can upset Boston today. That was a big old payout. They did on the news because Paul Silas' son, Steven Silas, coaches the Houston Rockets. And where's the championship this year? Houston. So very interesting narrative with Creighton. So you got Creighton in one of the Jesuit brackets, or one of the conferences. Creighton, another one, Gonzaga, Marquette in another, and then Xavier, who won the 84th NIT last year. That was looking too easy. When it was getting down to it, they were the only Jesuit school left. And it's just like, you can't really doubt those Jesuits with the 84. We'll see if they do it in the 84th overall tournament. But yeah, each of the Jesuit programs, they put them in each different region. So 4 Jesuit schools representing the 4 regions, and that is no accident. We'll see which one goes the furthest. I'll just tell you right now, the most interesting one is Marquette University, because Marquette University equals 93 championships on the 93rd day of the year. They are the top seed Jesuit program. And this year's championship is in NRG Stadium. And for all you guys who've been around, you know how much I talk about 93 and 39 in NRG. NRG equals 39. Construction on that stadium began on March 9th. If you look it up, a date that can be written 39 or 93. Over the years, we've documented so many 39 and 93 rituals in NRG Stadium. And not out of the question that you'd see another one this year. Marquette's got a lot of numbers, and one thing that never really stood out to me so much as it did today is, another thing that I'm almost tempted to add to my notes about Marquette. It's Shaka Smart's nose, man. I see what's in his bloodline. Shaka Smart definitely has some ancestry that has, noses that look like that. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, let me see. Has anyone tried to join this stream on my cell phone? On my cell phone, I cannot see. I thought it would. If anybody's tried to if anybody's tried to join the stream, like I'm used to doing this on a computer, and then it shows on the screen if people have joined the room to join the stream, but I don't see anything like that right now. Oops, now I did something else that. Let me see. Okay, I know what to do. No, nobody's in the room, but now I know where to check if somebody comes in the room. Yeah, but the other thing I want to talk about is just the dedicated troll pack that so many people are deceived by because they're just so persistent and they're such obvious frauds. And, it's just like you go into a lot of other people's Gematria channels. They don't really have any following at all. It's like nobody pays attention to their channel except for my troll pack. And these people start to think that that's their fan base. And what these people don't recognize, again, people who are doing the work, they want some recognition. They want people to think that they care. And the reality is just the majority of the people in the world do not care about Gematria, and you really have to earn your stripes to get anybody to listen to you. The reason I have an audience is because, I've been here day and night for a decade, and I proved my point in spades in the years I was here, calling a million different championships and news stories and elections correct before they happened. And it was hard to get a legitimate following, but it also brought, trolls and agents and people who don't like what I'm doing because I'm exposing their BS. Their multi-billion-dollar fraud schemes, which definitely includes rig sports. And, it's obvious that those same trolls, they're also keeping an eye on other people who are doing the work. And their game is to go into these other people's channels and become their fan base and leave them comments every day, feeding their head about why they should start some kind of beef with me. And you see how it works. I mean, a lot of people, they're listening to the troll pack, not realizing that they're a pack of trolls. They're thinking that, oh, these are my followers and supporters. These are the people who care about my work. But these people should be smarter, because if they come into my chat, you can see how the same names are sitting over here making fun of the work, harassing me. So they should be able to go like, wait a minute, why are they in Zach's chat, like making fun of Gematria and talking all this mess about the work, but then they're in my channel cheering me on and talking about how great I am. Again, this is just what they do. And Rambo, you look at his video, you look at the active people in his comments, it's the same trolls and losers, and a lot of them are people who, also for a little time they did act like they were cool, and I promoted them and helped build them up. But then all of a sudden they turn into the little agents that they are. But yeah, again, people got to be smarter, and it should be obvious. And it's amazing to me because it's like for people to turn their back on me just because they got their only audience is a bunch of trolls. It's like, these people need to remember the only reason you guys even have followings, like literally, and I mean, this isn't like an arrogant statement, but literally the only reason you guys have followings is because of me and because I promoted you. Without me, nobody knows about any of this. Nobody knows about any of this knowledge or research, and again, you shouldn't be biting the hand that feeds you. So, but yeah, in a way, I see how it happens because, like I said, without the troll pack and these people's comments cheering them on, they don't really have any comments or feedback. So, all right, Pitt's definitely pulled away in the Iowa State game. It looks like it's over. So I'm very happy about that because we got our 1984 rematch, Xavier versus Pitt. Xavier gave a lot of people a heart attack today, but again, the nice thing is when a team's down, you can get some nice odds on them, get that comeback money. And the 1984 rematch thing, it's been good. So when I filled out my bracket, I loved Penn State versus Texas A&M. But then I did a little bit deeper research, and I said, whoa. I said, if Texas and Texas A&M play each other in the next round, Texas can get their 84th win all time over Texas A&M. And then even though it looks so good for Penn State, I crossed them out, and I wrote in Texas A&M because I told everybody in advance. I said I could have gone too far with the 84s, but just anywhere where I could find 84 is pretty much how I penned in my bracket this year. And if only I had had the thought of that super 84 Ivy League school getting past the other 84 school, Arizona. Woo, that would have been a thing of beauty, but that did not happen. So, but yeah, it really has been a big 84 show. And again, anywhere you can find a rematch in 1984, I'll tell you what, so far, all of that stuff is happening. 1984 rematch has been a good one. So, Rick Pitino up on UConn at the half. Jay Bilas is going to be crying himself to sleep tonight if UConn goes out in the first round. His championship was Arizona over UConn. Woo, Rick Pitino and Tom Izzo, though. I've been thinking both of these guys have just been so due for a win. I mean, when you think college basketball, you think Rick Pitino, you think Tom Izzo. Those guys have not won a thing in a minute. So Izzo got it done today, wearing green on St. Patty's. Iona, they got that Catholic St. Patty's connection. Let me see if anybody came in the room. We still don't have anybody in the room. All right, here, let me switch over games because it's going to take a real miracle. I think it'd probably be the greatest comeback in the history of college basketball if Iowa State came back on Pitt. But I had that one on because that was one I really sold my people to have confidence in, that Pitt would take care of Iowa State. You know what I noticed also? They're putting on a lot more women's basketball compete with the men's game. The big man for Creighton, big slow man, there he puts it in, 62-57. My game might be a little bit behind yours because, again, I watch on the internet, but if you're watching Creighton, NC State, right as I flipped it over, big man was in slow motion. Oh, boy. Oh, did they call that a jump or a foul? Yeah. Hold on. First he did it 2 thumbs up like it was a jump, and then he dropped an arm and held it up like it was a foul. I used to officiate basketball. That's a no-no. You're supposed to be decisive with your calls. Your call should not change in mid-form, but it didn't. Who's that big man? Burns Jr. He's like eating Big Macs in the commercial breaks. Shout out to Jeremy White. Jeremy White has a really funny commentary from a couple of years ago on a player from like a mid-major school that looked like he was very well the son of Charles Barkley. Go back and watch that video again. I watched that one like 20 times straight and laughed every time. Shout out to Jeremy White. Whew, man. I should be doing some push-ups right now so I would look more like Jeremy White. Jeremy White, you guys, if you don't know Jeremy White, JHW3D. He hasn't been real active on YouTube, but subscribe his channel and just go through the videos he's got. He's got some real gems over the years. I think he's been busy with his work life lately, but his channel's got some awesome videos on it. And I'm sure someday he'll get back to it when he has more time. But yeah, Jeremy White, man, true All-American. Smart guy, in great shape, cool personality. You know, he's younger than me, but I look up to him like he's my dad. So if only I could be more like Jeremy White. Anyway, hopefully someday Jeremy White has more free time to do more work for the community again. Okay. BuildSubmarines.com. Don't be fooled, young people. They'll just throw you out in the trenches. The military's always got the best propaganda to recruit the youngsters. And then the youngsters, about 10 years later, when they're homeless out on the corner, they realize they were duped. Okay, we're on commercials. Yeah, I'm very curious about all the Jesuit schools in the 84th tournament. This year, finally, Gonzaga didn't have any hype behind them, and they flew under the radar. We'll see what they can do this year. They're in a pretty tough bracket, though, Gonzaga. It's probably the toughest one. There's more women's basketball on out here right now than men's basketball. Shout out to Kayla Decode Talker. I know Kayla. She knows her women's basketball like no other. Kayla's been on fire with her sports calls, too. I'm just going to keep it right here on Creighton. My guy last night was telling me North Carolina State's going to win, but I said, all right, we'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow. They still got a chance. They're only down 5 with 2.5 minutes, but again, we'll see. NC State came in on 23 wins. Blue Jays equals 23. Creighton's the Blue Jays. It is 2023. For all you guys who are ready for baseball, you just watch with the Toronto Blue Jays how much 23 plays in their games, especially in the year. I mean, always 23 in the Blue Jays has played so hard. It's played with Creighton over the years. Of course, baseball, you get a lot more examples because there's a gazillion games each year. But you just watch pitchers coming in, picking up their 23rd win, 23rd loss. 23 left and right, you know, it's between the second and third inning and the score is 2-3. Blue Jays 23. But yeah, this is a ball game. We'll see. Creighton up 62-59. This game's been back and forth, close all game. I don't know if North Carolina State's taken a lead yet. They didn't ever have a lead in the first half, but it was close the whole time. Again, Creighton's where Paul Silas went to school, who died this year by the numbers. His news anniversary, or the news of his death, Paul Creighton, it broke on the anniversary of Georgetown, another Jesuit school, naming their court after John Thompson, a year to the day. And then again, the day it broke, Rockets were huge underdogs against the Celtics and beat the Celtics. And I can't remember if Paul Silas played for the Celtics. That's what you call game time right there. That reminds me of the way I used to shoot it. Number 55 just come in and drain the big bucket. That's the ice water right there. He's not shook by the moment. What kind of defense is that, number 11? Number 55, not even hesitating. Boom. But I don't know about those pink sneakers. No man would wear those in the 90s. Oh, my God. Another guy on the sideline wearing pink sneakers? This generation, man. This generation. At least he can drain the 3-ball. Got to make your free throws, man. It always amazes me just like how many guys just do not learn to make free throws. feel like you play basketball, you should shoot at least 80% at the line. Practice, practice, practice. All right, they made it a game. 4 points, about 2 minutes left. Uh-oh, having trouble getting past. Oh, to the man in the pink sneakers. Taking their time. Smart. They got the lead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, he missed it. Come on, man. All you have to do is put your arms up and you're at the rim. How can you not put that in the hoop? I mean, he should have been dunking the ball, going up all soft as a 7-footer. But a big man, okay, let's see if he keeps it alive. Perfect. 6 for 6 at the stripe is the big man. That's what I like to see. He becomes 6 for 6 at the line as his team goes up with 66 points. Perfect. Yeah, there, that highlight right there. Why wasn't he doing the same thing? The alley-oop. Okay, so, I mean, 7 for 7. Big buckets. Yeah, you guys, like my man last night who called, I mean, he still has a chance. It's not over, but he was real confident NC State was going to win. And it's like, dude, you're going against a super strong historical pattern with Blue Jays in 23. Plus, you're fading the Jesuit school in the 84th tournament. He thought Marquette might even be going down today. It's like, you cannot just fade all the Jesuit schools in the 84th tournament. There's just no way. That number is so important to that order. But again, he's got a good mind and he's using his own mind, which I always encourage people to do, but he's not using the numbers for March Madness tournament. He's just ignoring those and he's looking at these teams' records on neutral courts. And it's like, okay, that's interesting. I mean, that's an interesting theory, but year after year, we're looking at the team's tournament records and how that reflects. And, I mean, the neutral court's an interesting idea, but the tournament record is specific to the tournament. So I forget. Creighton had a few other things that looked good for them too, besides just keeping NC State on 23 wins. I can't remember everything off the top of my head right now, but they're in control right now. They're going to get it down to, the man in the pink sneakers. Oh man, I'm going to let that guy wear pink shoes for the rest of his life. Ice water. He just put them away. He's like, what, man? That was my moment. I just drained that. What did you say? What did they say? He stepped out of bounds? Look at that guy. He's so disappointed. Should have learned gematria. Then you would have known you were going to lose before you got there. But yeah, last night in the stream, a guy called in big time about NC State's taking this. He was texting too when Kennesaw State was up. He's like, I told you, man. I told you Kennesaw State was going to win. I was like, the game's not over yet. Game's not over yet. So, again, he faded all the Jesuit schools today. You cannot fade Jesuits in the 84th tournament. You just can't do that. Here, I'll tell you. Here, let me tell you else. Speaking of fading the Jesuits, I should have took my own advice, and I told people that I was really worried about what I penciled in there for the championship because I went against the team that I was the most excited about, which played lights out today. By the way, out of all the best white players I've seen so far in this tournament is number 11 for Marquette. I like the way he plays. I like the way number 11 plays for Marquette. God, you know who should not be a point guard? USC. Who is USC's point guard? Who is the father of USC's point guard? That guy has no business playing point guard. He has no handles. Oh, my God. His shot is ugly as everything. He's tall. That's all he is. And he's probably too tall to even be a point guard. Because his handles are ugly. If I would have known about USC's point guard, there's no way I would have picked him to beat Michigan State. That guy, as soon as I watched that guy start to dribble at the beginning of the game, I was like, uh-oh. I should have at least watched one USC game this year because I would have known about him. That guy is garbage. But yeah, here I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I penciled in on my bracket, and I warned people that there was a good chance I would be wrong. So we didn't put all of our dice on what I penciled in on my bracket for the champion, but I did pencil in Arizona with the last stroke of midnight thought. And the reason I ended up choosing Arizona is because it was their 118th season, which historically is a good number in this tournament. March Madness equals 118. And they're one of the strongest 84 teams outside of the Jesuit schools. Arizona 84. Arizona, the small ways 39, like it's 39 years after 1984, and they're playing in the 39 Stadium NRG. But the thing that made me put them in there over the Jesuit school that I love is the day that Billy Packer died. Billy Packer, one of his most memorable calls is the year Arizona won in 97. And the day that Billy Packer died, January 26th, it was 67 days before the championship game. And the only two teams that won that day that have a shot at the championship were Arizona and Purdue. Purdue became 20-1, and all of the media is fading Purdue, so we'll see what's up with that. All the media is way down on Purdue. The media was way up on Arizona and way down on Purdue. But those were the only two contenders that won the day that Billy Packer died. But what made Arizona a little bit more interesting is he died 67 days before the championship. And we know what that number has to do with death. Blood sacrifice and human sacrifice are 67. But Arizona Wildcats is also 67. And had Arizona won the championship, their coach would have got his 67th win. And something else that was interesting about Arizona, and why this being the 84th tournament, is the tournament officially began with the playing games on the coach's 84th day of his age. So, yeah, again, I told people as I penned it in, I said, I think I'm going to regret doing this because I should be rolling with Jesuit like 1984. And man, I did not expect to be regretting it as soon as the first round, but that is the way it played out this year. And funny enough, 2 years in a row, the Wildcats. Last year it was the Kentucky Wildcats. Last year was the lowest hanging fruit, man. It's just like St. Mary's. There was no way they were losing today on St. Patrick's Day. We love St. Mary's. But last year it was St. Peter's. And you know, it was nice after we went nice with St. Peter's. We didn't miss on the we read St. Peter's perfectly after they went on St. Patrick's Day over the Kentucky Wildcats. But 2 years in a row, two seeds go down. Arizona Wildcats, Kentucky Wildcats. And yeah, unfortunately, Princeton's path forward is not as clear as oh, you got to make it, big man. Oh, the game's over pretty much anyway. It's going to take a miracle at this point. But for my guy who faded the Jesuit schools and the March Madness tournament records with the neutral court records, again, I appreciate that you're using your own brain and going with your own thoughts. Is another Jesuit school going to win with 72 points today? Another, if they don't, they'll probably get fouled, so they probably will score again, unless they're not going to foul them. Looks like they're just going to let it. Looks like they're not. They're going to let them win with 72. So Jesuit schools winning with 72 today. Again, Jesuit order 72. First Jesuit Pope became first Jesuit Pope on the 72nd day of the year. The one Jesuit school that has not played, who plays later today, is Gonzaga. Gonzaga is in their 72nd season this year. So, and again, Gonzaga just flew under the radar all year this year. Didn't start playing well until the end of the season. Timmy's going to be back with a vengeance. But like I told my guy last night, we'll see tomorrow. So, okay. Yeah. Again, I just knew I knew he was wrong about that one. That's why I was real calm. I was like, okay, well, we'll see, man. You're going against Blue Jays 23 in the Jesuit school? I don't think so. I'm telling you guys, you just pay attention to the Toronto Blue Jays this year. You'll just pad your pockets every time a 23 comes up with that team. You just check what pitcher's going up against Toronto Blue Jays. I know it's going to be more 23 than ever in 2023 with the Toronto Blue Jays this year. There might be a game where, what's his face? Guy that went from the Astros, Springer. As long as he's still there and healthy, he might steal 23 home runs this year. All right. Jesuit school's taking care of business. For all the people on my Patreon, also I hope you guys. I should have done a community post, but I did update the notes big time this morning for Michigan State. I was really feeling Michigan State when I woke up this morning. I felt like I was stupid for doubting them. What is going on here? Okay, let's check out Rick Pitino, Slick Willie. Is the Jay Bilas championship going to be totally busted in the first round? Jay Bilas was talking about how he is the #1 bracket picker in the world. Like I said, is that true, man? Has he done better than me in recent years? Definitely not having my best year this year, but it's not bad. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. It's just compared to the bar I've set over the years, we're definitely in the mediocrity territory. So, hold on. We still don't have anybody in the room. Nobody wants to come on and talk March Madness with me. I know I pinned the post in both channels. So hopefully my this camera angle, the nose hairs aren't standing out too much. Hold on, let me see what other games I got on right now. I got to see what's going on in Iona, Yukon. And I don't know if we got any other games on here that are men's games. Out here in the Pacific Northwest, we got the pregame for the Knicks. Wait a minute. Why is that even on? They're playing the Celtics today. What? Doesn't make sense. I was gonna say Knicks Blazers, but that was a more recent game. It must be a replay, actually. Okay. They got the movie Leprechaun 4 on. Oh, by the way, another thing about the death of Lance Reddick, the Wire actor, he's also in John Wick, and John Wick 4 recently came out. We know 4 is the number of death. And John Wick 4 was originally supposed to come out May 21st, 2021. May 21st, 2021, right? From that movie's initial planned release date, they ended up delaying it, so it didn't come out that day, but that was the day they hyped that movie to come out. From that movie's planned release date to his death is exactly 95 weeks on the nose, and Baltimore's 95, which again is his hometown, where the Wire's set. And if you count the span of days, it becomes 95 weeks in a day, which is also 666 days. And again, just one of those numbers. That dude is long on Yukon. Okay, Yukon just came out. Oh, man, Patino, you can tell he's getting a little bit older. Slick hair's got a little bald spot in the back, slicking it back over the bald spot. Pretty soon he might look like the Iona coach. Or not the Yukon coach, just shave it all off. All right, let's see what they do in Yukon. It's funny that I come to the Yukon game while it's 46-41. Connecticut, 46. If Yukon gets past Iona, they'll be playing the Gales for their first 2 games. First, they got the Iona Gales, and then they could play the St. Mary's Gales. And if that did happen, if Yukon gets past Iona, Gales has that gematria 44. The Yukon coach comes into the tournament 2-4 in the tournament, could become 4-4 in the tournament, beating both Gales. You know, he'd started off by becoming 3-4. 34 is a number with this tournament. Again, the championship is on a date to be written 3-4. Billy Packer's death after calling 34 tournaments. Kansas, the defending champion, representing the 34th state. That Yukon team is long, man. You know what? You know what I regret that we didn't make happen in New York? Yeah, right. The Matrix wanted to have a Truth Seeker basketball tournament. We got to make that happen, man. I need to stretch out my legs, though. I have not played basketball for over a decade now. But I miss playing basketball. I miss being young. I used to play basketball every day growing up. Every day. There used to be this place out here in the Pacific Northwest called The Hoop. And membership was like $10 a month for a youth. And I used to love it because my brother's friend was 4 years older than us, and he could drive. And my friend and I, play a lot of basketball, but we were 12 and he was 16. He could drive, and I used to love just going there and playing, man, and playing against the adults. every night we'd be there playing against the adults. And I used to have so much fun schooling those adults, man. So got better as we got older, of course, because we grew. But yeah, it's good to play against bigger and older people, man. Remember this one guy? He looked like Damon Stoudemire. He used to always strip the ball out of his hands. He'd get so mad. He'd be talking mess to me. I was like 13 years old, just running his mouth. I was like, what kind of man is talking all this trash to a 13-year-old? And look at you, getting balled up by the 13-year-old. It's crazy how fast life goes by. All the young people out there, man, enjoy your youth. It seemed like it was just the other day. I was a teenager playing against guys who are as old as me now. I used to think this was so old. Almost 40. Like I just said, I was at the dentist office. They scheduled my next appointment. It's for right after my 40th birthday. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be 40 years old. Doesn't even seem possible. Oh, by the way, I think CNN's trying to drop some kind of clue today on St. Patrick's Day. I haven't even decoded it yet, but they have some big fat story up about the first what's the place that all the immigrants come through in New York? Is it Ellis Island? They have some story about a teenager, think college basketball, but teenager, the first person through Ellis Island, how she was an Irish Catholic teenager. And God, I forget what the other thing, but they put a big 131 in the story, and that's a huge championship number. So I got to look into if there's some kind of Irish Catholic heritage coach. Again, a lot of these news stories, they just start contriving in the time of sports championships tournaments. They're really clues for what the rigged outcome is. They're just like made up news stories, paying tribute to whatever they got rigged next. So I'll have to decode that story later, but I know that they had the big number 131 up, Ellis Island. Maybe look at what teams are playing in New York. I think one of the tournament spots right now is in New York. There's something about that. I feel extra tired today because I hardly got any sleep yesterday. I had to run all over. I was up late again. Sweet lady didn't let me sleep in this morning. When she's up, she doesn't want me sleeping. It's funny, man. You gotta bend over backwards sometimes to make your sweet lady happy. But I let her sleep in all the time. I just told her this morning, I was like, I need to sleep in. She's like, help me out. I need this. I was just like, oh my God. Like, can you? Oh, okay, never mind. So anyway, today I got that foggy sleep brain. Not enough sleep. Normally I get enough sleep, but not lately. Hold on. We got a guest in the room. What's up, Mr. Boston? Why can I not hear him?
How are you doing?
Oh, hey, what's up? Now I hear you.
Good evening.
Yeah, what's up?
Not much. Just come to hang out.
Okay. What you must got something on your mind to say.
I don't know if you noticed, but there's a gray haze all over our country.
Do you mean the weather modification in the sky, or you mean something
Correct.
else? Oh, sure. Yeah,
You
I know, man.
As above, so below, but these compounds that are binding together in the sky to block out sunlight fall back to the earth.
Indeed. That's why I'm always telling everybody, eat cilantro, eat parsley. They're inexpensive. And the thing about cilantro and parsley is they clean out toxic metals from
Greek
your body
oregano.
better than most other foods. So, I mean, we eat cilantro, and we eat a lot more cilantro than parsley. They both have the same cleaning properties. But, yeah, again, you guys, they're inexpensive. They're good for you. And, again, we live in a toxic world. Cilantro and parsley all day, every day. Okay, go ahead.
Greek oregano is a great
Oh, oregano. Yeah,
antibiotic.
you're right. Oregano, another great one. Indeed.
Turmeric is good for joints and arthritic pains.
Right.
Advil is derived from turmeric.
Okay. Just since you're bringing up weather modification, I mean, like people in your life, when you point out these things, how do they react? Do they react like you're crazy?
You can just look at the trees around me, bro, to see what I'm
I
talking about.
agree. I agree. Trees are dying all over the place, like weird stuff going on. I agree.
How do I flip the camera around? Hold on.
There should be a little thing that shows like a spinny camera. That's how it shows on mine.
Well, anyhow, look at the tree. How it's just the
Bark.
bark's like rotting off of it.
Yeah, I've seen that all over. I've seen just like weird death patterns in the branches. Yeah, I agree.
And it's almost like the tree is dying from the inside because the bark peels right off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, chemicals landing on it day after day that just aren't supposed to be there. So
imagine farming in this shit. Now,
I agree.
And you're eating this shit, you know? So
exactly. A reminder to just get some fruit and vegetable wash too, because
here's the thing. Like if you do it right, you can filter the water that you're feeding to the plants. You gotta do like make your own charcoal by burning wood and like layering it with sand and having it fill up and filter down into a trough and take that water and use it to feed the crops. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wish I had a lake on my property. I would make a Tesla turbine and a Tesla ram pump.
What's
and
that?
I wouldn't have to worry about electricity.
How's that work?
How does what work? A Tesla ram pump or a Tesla turbine?
On a lake, like how do you generate the power through the lake? Because the water's not really moving.
The ram pump pulls it up, and it's centrifugal force, so there's no energy required of it.
Huh. Okay.
And that you use that to spin the turbine, and it feeds back into the machine, and it's all self-contained. It's all about how much you want to scale it, and getting the right parts printed for the machine.
I see. So is that something Tesla Corporation selling to people then? Sounds like it.
I don't think so. You can make this for yourself. There's a YouTuber by the name of Mr. Teslonian who breaks it down, would teach you how to make such a device if you so desired.
You know who's a really smart guy that knows how to, well, maybe he doesn't want me. Never mind. I was going to say something, but he asked me to. I guess people are so afraid in the world. Hey, if you're out there in New York City, you know who I'm talking about. There's a guy that's smart in engineering and knows how to make clever things to generate energy and stuff. I mean, again, it's just like he does a lot of good work already, but he's afraid to share like some of his inventions that he has because he thinks it'll get him into trouble. And I guess rightfully so, but at the same time, it's like
think about like carbon-14. That's a battery that could, like, if you harness it properly, it's a battery that could last 5,000 years.
Okay.
But here's the thing, like everything has an effect. So like 5G is what is it? It's 1950s nuclear war communications technology. So it's the only phone that works during a nuclear war, and that's why they pumped it out so fast.
I see. I
feel like everything is scripted in the circus of a world we live in, and everything is connected in some way. And that you never meet anyone in life for no reason.
Yeah, there's definitely a mathematical construct to this world, no doubt about it.
So. I do unto others what I want done unto myself, which is I'm straightforward. You don't give me no shit, I won't give you no shit.
Indeed.
I'm not really interested in being on YouTube, to be honest with you.
Well, thanks for coming on today and sharing some thoughts.
I like to live a very hermetic lifestyle.
Yeah, I get it.
Mind my own business.
Walden. Yeah.
You know, and it's good to have friends, though. You know what I mean?
Indeed. We're social creatures. So.
And like if I had the ingenuity of a team of people who were working towards the goal, like yeah, you'd think about doing that kind of inventiveness of making turbines that create power beyond the means of solar panels. Which
Sure.
it's like this isn't a solution to the problems, but if you had like all of California working to make this giant generator, then you'd solve all of their problems overnight.
Sure. Yeah.
Solar power is a pipe dream.
It is. And it's a lost cause. And it just feeds the people who look at the world differently than us. You see. America is a beautiful place, but you know, it's like there are so many forces and things colliding with each other all the time that they try to make you believe that it's not so beautiful.
Sure. I hear that. NWO, did you want to chime in with some of your own thoughts or comment on what Mr. Boston's saying? Or
I was just saying the solar power is a pipe dream. You got to be smoking the pipe.
It can work in some places. I mean, I'm sure there's better solutions.
I know, but for the whole nation to go to it, that we don't have the electrical capacity, it'll never work.
You never have anywhere to store this energy anyway.
Africa and destroying Africa in the process.
Not only that, but like think about Haiti. Like think about what they got there. They got some rare shit that they want too. And you know, that's something that will get you censored. Is talking about Haiti. Because they don't want people to know they're trying to extract all the resources from there very low key. And I blame Hillary Clinton for that. And I would like to say to you, I feel like a lot of foundations are not straight, playing very straightforward games. You know what I mean? Like it's not all that it seems, like a front.
Clinton's Jesuit educated, Georgetown.
Yeah, on their wedding night, they had a witch doctor there or something. I heard. I thought was pretty interesting.
It's probably a Jesuit priest.
Probably. So kind of unrelated, I thought it was interesting that from George Floyd to Floyd Mayweather is 1,229 days, the 201st prime.
What do you mean?
From George Floyd's birth to Floyd Mayweather's birth is 1,229 days, the 201st prime.
Okay. Okay.
Like Pink Floyd, The Wall, George Floyd. Floyd Money Mayweather, and it happened in the month of May, during the twin month.
Okay.
So Zach, what can you tell me more about this 131 thing you were talking about, immigration or something?
Well, I got to decode it. I'm just saying, if people want to look into that story, I just saw the headline. I haven't decoded it yet, but 131, just a big championship number. And just for that number to be front and center, you know, relating to Ireland and St. Patrick's Day. I know they're trying to hit something at tournament. There's a clue in it. So takes a decode, though. I haven't done it yet. All the 131 things I can tell you for the tournament, just things that I'm aware of. Be interesting if any of these teams have some kind of Irish connection. Kansas's coach, Bill Self, he's on 131 losses. Kentucky got embarrassed last year and stayed on 131 tournament wins coming in. And this year they come in again with 131 tournament wins. And
Wilt Chamberlain went to Kansas.
Yeah. And then the other 131 is the Alabama coach. he had 131 games coached with Alabama coming in to the tournament, and so often that number leads you to a winner. So not sure. There could be another 131 that I'm overlooking right now, but those are the ones I'm aware of.
Yeah, I was just saying that Wilt Chamberlain went to Kansas.
Yeah.
Like Aleister Crowley, do as thou wilt. Wilt Chamberlain died on Aleister Crowley's birthday.
That's interesting.
7311 days before. 7311 days before Event 201. Do as thou wilt, Chamberlain.
What's 7?
Shall be the whole of the law.
What's
Interesting.
311. 311. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying 7311 days. We know what 311 is.
Oh, I just realized who this
131.
is.
It's me, dude. So what's your issue? If I'm a troll, what's your issue? I'm here to present knowledge to the community.
Yeah. My issue is that you're a troll. I mean, that's my issue. You're going around spreading bullshit information everywhere. And I mean, yeah, the Wilt Chamberlain, I'll give him credit for that one, but the guy's a total loser and goon. So, I mean, what kind of scumbag like sits around and spams everywhere bullshit about you, but then wants to keep coming on your stream? I mean, that's my issue. Guy's a total moron.
Sometimes you get around those negative people to just aspire to have control over things.
And look at his avatar. I mean, you can just tell. And the guy,
It's like a troll. Like it's a troll of an avatar.
And again,
it's
part of the
mockery
tribe, one of those big old long noses.
It's a mockery.
Yeah, making fun of black people with his avatar. So again, I encourage every black person to look into Gematria, Jewish practice, and how they mock your race every day in the media they control. Guys just like that. And it's funny how they always want to pair themselves with black people. We got the same plight as black people. Oh, yeah.
You want to hear something interesting, Zach? I grew up celebrating and observing both Jewish and Greek Orthodox Christianity.
Okay.
Practicing both religions. I still try to follow that.
Sure, that's fair.
Someone said to me once that it's my morality that keeps me alive. Because I've done a lot of foolish things at one point to anger powerful people, but I was speaking truth. And sure. you can anger the powerful and they'll snub you.
Sure. Indeed. It's been said before, you want to make somebody mad, just tell them the truth. So I just find it, I don't know how old you are, but just growing up in the 90s, everybody was saying it over and over after a few good men. It was just like everybody's lying. You can't handle the truth. It was just a funny thing to say. Then a few years later, 9/11's happening, and the truth's never been more hated. So we still got you, Mr. Boston? I think Mr. Boston might have cut out. Oh, Mr. Boston dropped. He might be back. But yeah, I thought we'd have some people that would want to come on here and talk some basketball. UConn keeping a 10-point margin here with Iona. Rick Pitino. Better days might be behind him. But let me see if there's any other games on right now. This game still got plenty of life left. They got the ladies on. Shout out to the ladies, but I cannot watch ladies basketball. I cannot watch it. The only game we got on out here right now, as far as I can tell, is UConn Iona. UConn up 12. Seeing if we got any other games to check in on when they go to commercial break. Looks like that's it for the moment. Before long, there'll be a whole bunch more games, though. But yeah, my only the other thing I wish would have happened today is I wish Baylor would have got upset. That game was Baylor had a narrative to win, but a number that could have gone against Baylor today is 28. Big number with Baylor. Plays with them a lot. Didn't play for them today, or didn't play against them today. Had Baylor lost to the oh God, what was it? UCSB. The opposing school could have got their 28th win. Baylor has that gematria 28. So does Gonzaga. When Baylor won the championship the other year, they got their 28th win of the season, winning it all. And again, Baylor and Gonzaga both 28. You might recall Elgin Baylor died that year on March 22nd, right before Baylor won the championship. Last year, Delnard Webster of the St. Peter's Peacocks, their greatest player ever drafted in the NBA, he died on March 22nd. We'll see if another big NBA name dies on March 22nd this year, connected to one of these schools. It's only days away. Let's hope it doesn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does. You know about old 322. But yeah, just Baylor and 28. Big number with them that plays a lot. It's funny though. This year there were two good riddles in their football season where historically it's played so nicely. That's what I mean. It's just like as people catch on to the knowledge, I feel like a lot of the patterns become less consistent. Baylor in 28 used to just be dominant, dominant, dominant. It's still a good pattern, but there were two football games this year it burned me on, and I won't say it burned me today. I was hoping to get that upset. There was some nice value in it, but it wasn't so. And you know what? The score at halftime, 71. That's also a Baylor number. There were 71 combined points. That's why I was like, uh-oh. Looks like Baylor might have this one with the 71 points at the half. But they did. The 28 did not play. Would have been nice if it did. Other than that, should have just had more confidence in Michigan State. Other than that, it's been a good day. So, all right, we got some new guests in here. Truth Slayer. Jonathan's in the building. Truth Does Not Exist is in the building. And a name that's too long for me to read on my cell phone, so it's not showing up. He's also in the building. But let's go in the order that people came in. So Truth Slayer, Jonathan, Truth Does Not Exist, and then
Hey, what's up?
And then the last gentleman. Well, what's up, Truth
Hey,
Slayer?
Zach, what's up?
Hey, what's
What's up,
up?
everybody? All right, Truth Slayer, you're first. You're first in the room.
I was just saying you're doing a good job. Love what you do.
Appreciate that. I don't know if I deserve a good job right now. I'd say I'm doing a mediocre job, but I'm glad you appreciate it. I'll take the compliment anyway. Thank you.
You're spreading the truth. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm doing a good job there. I'll take that. So thank you. What's up, Jonathan? Your mic's on mute.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing all right. I got the brain fog from lack of sleep, but other than that, things are all right.
Yeah, I think I'm coming down with a little cold too. With the cold.
Vitamin D, vitamin C. Get it
Vitamin
boosted.
D. Yeah, I've been doing a lot
I've
of.
been taking a lot of extra the last. Anytime I get sleep deprivation, I go extra heavy on the vitamins to try to offset anything that might try to overtake my immune system.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been going heavy on the C. I need to go more on the D.
Vitamin D is huge this time of year because I think that's the real reason most of us get sick in the winter because it just everywhere's getting less vitamin D.
Yeah, yeah. And I was in Alabama. It was like 80 degrees, and now I'm in Sacramento. I've been here a week. It's like 40 degrees and raining, and
Yeah, that'll also do it. Change of weather, especially hot to cold.
I've never seen so much rain in California like this. This is crazy. Like,
Yeah, it's the new Seattle.
yeah, pretty much.
At least the water bill's probably cheaper.
Yeah, I know, man. California. Getting
Oh,
drenched
what a
by the
play.
numbers. If you guys missed it, that flooding started in California on Gavin Newsom's 150th day of his age on the date written 8/3. Look in the Bible, Genesis 8:3. It's the last part about the flood of 150 days. Think that's an accident with Jesuit Newsom in there? Again, for people who don't know, the first act of weather warfare admitted to in 1952 on the Jesuit order's birthday. People think they can't rig the tournament. These people know how to
That
rig
ain't
the
no
weather.
coincidence.
Exactly. And you know what's fucked up? We were doing a petition to recall Newsom, right? And we got like 2 million signatures, right? To get him out, to kick his to kick him out of office, right? And he voted himself back in.
Right.
Like he threw out the signatures and voted himself back in. It was like, it's not like he just basically does what he wants, like at this point. And I don't know. I don't know what to say about Newsom. But now, now all these black people are starting to like him because supposedly he signed.
Oh, because the reparations thing.
Yeah, he signed the reparations thing. So now people are like, "Oh no, you can't talk shit about Newsom." I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
that's how they know how to play the divide and conquer. They're like, oh,
exactly, yeah. And like it wasn't his call anyway. Like he's not in charge. Just a puppet on a string. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. He could be running for president here in the not too distant future. So
I can see that. I can see.
He will.
I can see that. And remember, he was the mayor of San Francisco.
Exactly.
At one point.
Eating at the French Laundry while he's telling everybody to stay home. Y'all going to get COVID, 56% of you in 56 days.
Right. And then he told all the gyms to close down, but his own gym, he didn't close it down.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But I mean, like in my home state, it's not like it's any better with DeSantis.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, he's another puppet.
Exactly. But you were just saying something about 28 and
what's wrong with him?
DeSantis? Oh my God.
Just follow the numbers, man. 201 days from his birthday, he's playing bad cop. The next year, 201 days from his birthday, he's playing good cop. He's on those strings. He's at Disneyland by the numbers.
And then supposedly he passed something. He passed this law that to kick out African American studies out of high school.
I see.
Yeah.
He's the most popular governor in the country.
That's not true. It sounds like that's CNN.
I mean, I see why people like him based on things he's done, but it's like you just follow the patterns. You see what's going on here. He's locking down his state 201 days from his birthday 1 year. The next year he said, we're not doing any of these COVID restrictions 201 days from his birthday. It's just like, okay.
Yeah. And then they embarrassed the black guy that was running against him.
Hey, Jake the asshole's inside the room right now. He wants to join. He just
it's probably a troll pretending to be him, but here, let me see. I don't see that anybody else is in here trying to get him right now. I don't see that. He can come on here and get smoked. It's not going to really be him, but he can come on here and get smoked.
He's not gonna come on here.
He's a little fraud. He doubled down on his lie. And he was so dumb. He's lying about me while it's written on the screen right behind him. It's like, how dumb is this guy? Like, it's literally written right on the screen what he's saying. He's like, he never picks spreads. It's like literally written on the screen why I like San Francisco to cover the spread against Seattle. Just like, what a moron.
Oh, yeah. No, what I was saying is that they made Andrew Gillum look bad. And he's a black guy running against DeSantis. So they made him look bad. And now he's banned African American studies in high schools. So it's like DeSantis is like doing the opposite of what Newsom is, but they're all just strings on a puppet, puppets on a string, puppets on string.
Sure,
you know,
dyslexic with it.
Yeah,
that's how Sweet Lady. That's what I love about Sweet Lady. She says everything wrong, but I love it.
Yeah.
Any day it's a nice day. She always says it just like this: bright and shine. It's like bright. And shine. Whatever. We'll do it that way: bright and shine.
So, just to talk a little hip hop, you was just talking about the number 28. There was a a South African rapper named Costa
I
Tit.
covered that on my blog. Yeah, the latest 38 special. I wondered if you saw that one.
Yeah, I just caught on to this. But he was 28 years old, and he all of a sudden just dropped dead on stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I know there was a 38 in that. I got my notes on it. Plus, Africa equals 38. So.
Yeah, Africa's 38 exactly. Yeah, I got to look on your blog thing.
Yeah.
Is there a way to flip my camera? Let me see if I can. Let me see.
There is somewhere. It's like a camera with arrows.
I'm trying to see something. Hold on.
Here, while he's flipping it, what's up? Truth does not exist.
Well, I'm hanging out with you guys, but I do have some stuff to say. I was thinking the other day, I didn't think about it to say on Wednesday, but I was thinking, what if we started writing GematriaEffectNews with the YouTube symbol on money, just like all the cash, like dollars, hundreds, everything, and we buy all the stuff with that cash, and just that's how we spread the word, just giving out cash with that, because you know how cash is. It's just going to spread all over the place. It goes through all kinds of people's hands. Everybody will get to see that.
Well, they might. Technically, it's a federal crime to deface money, even though people do it all the time. It could come back. He'll be like, "Oh, finally a way to shut them down." So.
Yeah. Yeah, just a thought.
But yeah, people have done that before. People call it the same thing. Just write GematriaEffectNews, write Gematria on a dollar bill. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't say to do it.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw earlier. That was my dog, or well, not my dog, but my stepmom's dog. I gotta show you guys.
I didn't see it. Here, other guy who got on, he dropped off for a second. What's up? What's up, other guy who came back?
You hear me, Zach?
I hear you. Yeah, what's going on?
What you think about the Memphis game?
What
do you think about the Memphis Tigers?
There's another 1984 rematch. If who's the winner of that Memphis game play?
Let me see.
If Memphis makes it, though, they'll play the same team that they played in 1984.
I like how the Tigers can get the 27th win and Grizzlies can stay on 27 losses.
Oh, you know what I think it is? I think if Memphis and Purdue both win, I think that's the rematch in 1984, if I remember right. Is that who plays each other? The winner of Memphis and the winner of Purdue? Is that the same one?
Looking at the bracket right now.
I think so.
If that's what it is, yeah. I just everything that was 1984, I just went that way. Because again, for people to forget, Houston, the 1984 championship was Georgetown over Houston, and again, Georgetown's Jesuit 84, Houston's the Cougars 84. Houston hosts the championship this year in the 84th tournament. So that's why I just said anything that looks 1984, I'm just going that way. They're obviously paying tribute to 84.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, World Navigation is called WGS 1984.
Who just said that?
That's Truth Slayer.
Okay.
I heard that on a post that they call World Navigation WGS 1984.
Interesting. Yeah, the year of years, 1984.
Of all things they can call it.
This guy's saying he's the real Jake the Asshole. I don't believe that.
Here. Let's bring him in. Let's see. Are you eating raw meat and slapping yourself in the face?
No, Mr. Wannabe Zionist Shabbat. I told your bitch ass I was coming after you. So let's debate right now about Jesus Christ. Shut your bitch ass up, you bitch. Sit your ass down and talk. First of all, let's talk about this Talmudic shit that you don't even know, okay? First of all, there's two Talmudics, okay? There's the Babylonian and the Judaism, right? So first of all, you fucking pedophile talking about the Talmudists that you want to support Jesus. All right, let's see. How is it that you don't give credit to the New Testament when it says Revelation 13:8 that talks about it? Huh? Talk about it.
Is there a detail in the Bible about
The
Jesus
Talmud
being
talks
a-
about sucking little kids'
Answer
dicks.
the fucking question. How can you say that you cannot prove that New Testament is not credible when everything is happening going on with this fake agenda? Don't even mention scriptures. So I want to actually ask right now. Come on, speak. I told you I'm coming after you.
Pedophilia.
I got your address down. I got your phone number down. I got everything down. And go call your fucking FBI agents because I'm ready to kill somebody right now. I'm ready to torture you with all my heart and soul. So let's go. Let's go right now. Let's go. So answer the question. Answer the fucking question. Huh? Answer the fucking question. You lost in your debates. No one fucking likes you. You already are a fraud. So let's talk about this right now. How is it that New Testament is not credible if everything is going on has been said since the beginning?
Okay.
Hey,
That guy is true. That guy leaves me voicemails all day, every day.
I never heard this guy. I never heard this guy before. That's my first time hearing.
Crazy as hell,
Is he from Travis's channel?
His voicemails usually start out with "F you, you Jesus denier." It's like, okay, I'm sure this guy's all about Jesus. Yeah.
Was it the
sounds like he needs to read that Bible.
that you can't kill people?
Say it again.
Was it one of the commandments that thou shalt not kill?
The guy's a psychotic, man.
Yeah, I never heard of. That's my first time ever hearing him.
Yeah, he's come on live streams before. He'll always change his name to somebody else in the community that's not him. So like, next time he'll come on here is like Richie from Boston. So
I wish he showed his face. I'd like to see what he looks like.
He did show his face one time. He actually looks a lot like Travis. They look very similar. So
it's funny when I first saw Travis. I always imagined that he looked like that, but like not seriously. Like my brain just exaggerated, you know, that like someone would look like that. But it was funny when I saw him. I was like, oh man, this is like what my brain has been thinking that this guy must look like all this time.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out Truth Does Not Exist for recommending the website Soap Today. I've found that website useful.
What's the name of the website?
Soap Today.
Okay.
You recommend?
Actually, I've been having problems with that website for some reason. Like hasn't been working recently. I'm using another one. It's called CHD. SEEHD.
Interesting. It's been working for me. But Zach,
that's pretty much the same thing.
Am I breaking up at all or no?
You're fine.
All right. Well, because did you notice that Houston's head coach, Calvin Sampson, first of all, Calvin Sampson equals 181.
Yeah, the championship's on his 181st day of his age. Houston, Texas, 181. The 42nd prime. Cougars, 42. The number all over Black history. Yeah.
Yep. So you covered all that. All right.
Yeah, that's again, 1984 was the year of the first Black coach to ever win the championship. Only 4 coaches that have been Black have won the championship to date. And they made a big deal about that last year with Hubert Davis, who came up a game short. But yeah, the 2 Black coaches that got a real shot at the championship are him and Shaka Smart. So the last team to win the championship in their own city was UCLA. If Houston made it to the Final Four and so did UCLA, and Houston went over UCLA, I mean, that could be the final clue you need right there if that's going to be the outcome.
19 days after 84 is Kobe's birthday. 19 days after Kobe's birthday is 9/11.
Well, remember,
you're not that same guy, are you? That just like keeps coming in under new names.
Yeah, I am, because I'm not a troll, bro. So you just make yourself look how you look, because I'm not a troll, bro. I'm part of the community. Maybe not part of yours, but I'm part of the community to spread truth. There's no issue. I got no issue with anybody. So people will find out my
community a what weird moron?
Yeah, the guy's it's just such an annoying human being. And again, he reminds me why they've been kicked out of so many countries. But at the same time, Truth Does Not Exist comes from the same bloodline, and he's a good guy. But just that guy's what makes him look so bad. I mean, that guy's just a human piece of shit. So.
Well, yeah, he embraces it a lot more.
Well, since we were talking about 28, right? So this last rapper that died, Kosta Titch, was 28 years old. Remember, Takeoff died at 28 years old. The word Takeoff is 28, and he died in Houston. You were just talking about Houston. And Culture, which is their biggest album, the Migos' biggest album, equals 28. And there's just a lot to that number 28. I've noticed lately. For example, one of the biggest DJs to ever come out of Houston is DJ Screw, right? He's from Houston too. And hold on, there's a bunch of 28s for him. One second. I just noticed that number 28 is just humongous. Hold on.
Future equals 28. You probably knew that.
Yeah. Hold on. There's a bunch of 28s on here. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, so DJ Screw equals 28. Like I said, Takeoff 28. Annie died at 28. Culture's 28. Kills 28. Taurus 28. Mason's 28. DJ Khaled 28. DJ Uncle Al 28.
Yeah, 28, faithful number. Just like yesterday, the story they did with the dead guy in the hospital. His name equaled 28. He was age 28, dead in Virginia. Big headline, and then Virginia loses to Furman 28 as Furman gets their 28th win.
And how often does that one happen when you're 28, name 28, like Kobe Bryant 41, dies at 41? Same numbers.
That always happens. It's Gematria is just in. You can't debunk Gematria. Yet so many people are like, I mean, people are just retarded.
Yeah, that's the real problem. What just happened in the UConn game with the net? Somebody tore the net? That's not some kind of ritual right there. I mean, taking down the net early? Iona's on 63 points on the 63 date numerology. It's funny because the other Gales team won with 63 points today. St. Mary's Gales won with 63. They just had to replace the net. UConn's up big, 83-63. I'm gonna have to remember that. What's that about? But okay.
Well, let me. Have you ever heard there was this rapper named Half a Mil, right?
Okay.
He was on the Firms album. Remember the Firms album? It was Nas. Yeah, he was. So check it out, right? Let's see if you can see the screen. I didn't know. I couldn't figure out how to flip the camera.
There's somewhere on there where it shows you. Hold on. On my cell phone, I don't know if I know it either. Maybe in settings.
Yeah, because I'm on the cell phone.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so go to settings and then camera, you choose forward or the other side. You got to the settings.
Oh, settings.
Or it says more. It says more and then settings and then camera.
Oh, I see. Camera 2, face front, face back, facing back. Let's see. Oh, there it is. All right. You can see that, right?
Well, other people probably can't have the bigger screen. Just tell me, my screen's too small to read it.
Okay. So Half a Mil was a rapper from Brooklyn, New York. Jay-Z is also from Brooklyn, and he owns 20% of the music streaming service Tidal. If you type Half a Mil into the search bar for Tidal, you'll notice he has a total of 38 songs labeled as his top tracks. Half a mil equals 38 in full reduction gematria. Remember, the name of the book is called 38 Special.
Right.
His mainstream breakthrough came in 97. He was featured on a song with AZ called Throw Your Guns. It was the firm's only release, the album. And the firm equals 38 in reverse reduction. The album, the word, just the words, the album equals 44. Just the album equals 44. Half a mil died 38 weeks and 4 days after his 30th birthday. So he died 38 weeks and 4 days after his 30th birthday. He was alive for 30 years, 8 months, and 27 days. So he was alive for 30 years and 8 months, kind of like another 38, right?
Right.
Get off.
And one of the tracks that is noticeably missing on Tidal is his first song, which is ironically titled Any Day Can Be Your Last. That's his very first song, Any Day Can Be Your Last. And that equals 56 and 97. On this same demo, he has a song called Another Homicide Scene, and that equals 193. 193 is a 44 prime number. And so I think about it, like this is his demo, and one of the songs is called Any Day Can Be Your Last. The other song is called Another Homicide Scene. Keep in mind, he was shot and killed. And when you look at the actual demo, they have both songs listed as 4 minutes long. And we always talk about how 4 is a number associated with death, right?
Right.
If you listen to each song on YouTube, they're each a little over 4 minutes long.
Okay.
His debut album reportedly sold 40,000 units. That's a substantial amount of the number 4. I've explained how this number is associated with death. If you look at his Instagram, he's called a Project Profit. Project Profit equals 193. 193 is a 44 prime number. His last name is Wardlaw. That equals 44 and 107. Shooting is 107 and 44. So his real name, right, was Jason Wardlaw. That equals 39. This is the number when it comes to New York. New York equals 39. Check out Biggie's part, because I go over the 39 a lot with Biggie. And he was born on a date with 118 numerology. And oh, by the way, Costa Titch, the rapper who died, who collapsed in Africa, Costa Titch equals 118.
Yeah.
I didn't write that down, but I just found that out.
Yeah. There was a 38 and 118 in his death. That was what I noticed when I decoded it.
Okay. So half a mil was born on a date with 118 numerology. Hip hop's birthday is 8/11/73, a date that can be written as 118. Homicide 118. Death equals 118. He was shot and killed in Albany projects on 10/22/2003. This was a date with 37 numerology, shooting 37, killed 37. The word killed. There are some reports that he committed suicide. He was shot and killed in the projects, but his body was found inside his apartment by the police. So supposedly he was killed in the projects, but the police found his body inside his apartment. So there's already all type of red flags with this, right?
Indeed. Hold on, just a real-time update for March Madness. So
Yeah.
There's something going on with this. They had this big net ritual in the Iona-UConn game while Iona was on 63 points. They didn't score a single point in the game. Today's date numerology is 63. And both Gales teams today, St. Mary's are the Gales and Iona are the Gales. They both scored 63 on the 63 date numerology. UConn just beat Iona Gales. Now they play St. Mary's Gales. And then right after that net cutting ritual, UConn put in the 84th points of the game on a free throw. UConn's narrative for 84 is if UConn won the championship, their coach would be 8-4 in the tournament. A lot of people think that they should have been a higher seed. So anyhow, interesting. Just documenting the possible 84s. All right, well, go back to it, Jonathan. I'm listening.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I like that live update. Okay, so all right, so he was shot and killed in Albany Projects, right? On 10/22/2003. This was a date with 37 numerology, shooting 37, killed 37. There are some reports that he committed suicide. He was shot and killed in the projects, but his body was found inside his apartment by the police. The circumstances behind his death are strange. $500,000 equals 74. Rapper 74, Brooklyn, New York equals 74. Some argue that he may have had the best verse on the entire Firm album. Not one member of the Firm showed up to his funeral. Right? But you're supposed to be a part of this super group. Nobody shows up. Nobody.
Just for
nobody.
the record, the word gangster's 37, since that whole Firm album is a tribute to all the gangster films.
Oh, I got to throw that in there. Good one. Because I was talking about 37 earlier, because shooting is 37 and he got shot. Okay. So not one member of the Firm showed up to his funeral. He is one of the best rappers to ever come out of Brooklyn. He dissed the police on his first ever song, Any Day Can Be Your Last. It was the police who found his body. Brooklyn, New York equals 223. The Synagogue of Satan equals 223. Masonic equals 223. So, just a rapper that some may have forgotten about, right? $500,000. It's crazy how like it's always the one with the most talent that gets knocked off. Like,
is he really more talented than Nas?
Well, no. Well, yeah, okay. All right, good point. But he did have a lot of talent. He's not better than Nas. Okay, he's not better than Nas.
The days when people could actually rap. So
yeah, he's not better than Nas. He's not better than AZ. Yeah, okay, good point. But he was still good. And so here's here's another New York rapper. Let me see. Oh, I wrote about Soulja Slim too. Hold on. Yeah, he's definitely not better than Nas. Okay. I wrote about Left Eye.
Let's see. Left Eye Lopez.
Yeah. Where's she at? Hold on, I just had it. Left Eye. Okay. So Left Eye was arguably the most talented member of this all-girl group. She was a singer, rapper, songwriter, and producer.
Hold on. I want to hear this, but just as we're doing March Madness, and most people are tuning in for that, I just want to tell some people about some things that are interesting about Purdue. So Purdue's the one seed that the whole media is dogging hard and saying, like, oh, they don't have a chance. They're going to get eliminated early. They could even be trouble in their first two games. We'll see if that's true or if the media is keeping people off Purdue. What's real interesting about Purdue is they're in Indiana, and the state of Indiana is 206 years old right now. March Madness equals 206. The 1984 championship was in Seattle, the 206 area code. Again, this is the 84th tournament. Well, yesterday when Princeton upset, the Princeton coach came into the game with 206 wins. Again, March Madness is 118 forwards, 206 in reverse. Arizona goes down in their 118th season as Princeton comes in with a little 206. And again, that's what it's all about. That's why it's called March Madness, because crazy crap like that happens in the scripted games where these guys are getting the payola to shave points in a big way. But Purdue, what's real interesting about Purdue with the whole 206 thing, remember Caleb Swanigan, their player who went to the NBA, he died last year on the 20th day of the 6th month, 20/6. He wore the number 50 at Purdue, and then right after his death, Jaden Ivey was the 50th Purdue player drafted into the NBA as a top pick. And if Purdue won the championship, they would have 50 wins in the tournament, and the championship is on a 50-date numerology. So, again, to me, when I look at the narratives that are out there, to me, there are better narratives than Purdue because they don't really have a connection to 84. But the way the media is dogging them and like telling everybody they're going to go out early, I wonder if that's the media doing their job. Just like last year, there was no hype at all for Kansas. They were the 1-1 seed that everybody ignored. They weren't dogging Kansas last year, but everyone's dogging this Purdue team. They said their freshmen hit the wall and they're not ready for this tournament. So we'll see. But anyway, I just since the Purdue game started, I want to throw that out there. Oh, and by the way, the Purdue and Fairleigh Dickinson have only played one time in history, and they played March 17th, exactly 35 years ago to the day. 35 years ago to the day. If Purdue got upset like the media is saying in this game, because a lot of people are saying that they could lose this game right here. Well, the one thing that could go against them in this game is their next tournament loss is 34. Indiana equals 34, and so does Knights. They're playing the Fairleigh Dickinson Knights. But, yeah, Purdue's like a 20-some point favorite, so that's a big – that's a dollar parlay type of bet if you're going to do that. Right now they're up by a point. All right, go ahead, Jonathan.
Could you go back to what you said about 50? You said something about 50.
If Purdue won the championship, they'd have 50 tournament wins, and the championship is on 50-date numerology. But Caleb Swanigan, the former Purdue player, he died on June 20th. He wore number 50. And then Jaden Ivey was drafted in the NBA as the 50th player out of Purdue right after that.
Interesting. It's the 50th. Hip hop turns 50 years old this year. Just thought I'd add that in there.
You said Memphis beat Purdue in the 84, right?
Memphis beat Purdue in 84. So, yeah, if Purdue went out in the second round like pretty much everyone's predicting, that'd be a repeat of 1984.
Also, if Memphis beat Purdue, they'd face Duke or Tennessee. I think if Memphis goes, I see Tennessee upsetting Duke if Duke is the favorite, because then it'll be the 8th seed versus the 4th seed, the 84. But also, the Kansas plays Arkansas. Arkansas could upset Kansas and go against UConn.
Kansas's biggest scare is the Arkansas game, no doubt about it. I talked about that in a big way last night on Patreon. If Purdue loses to Memphis equals 34. They could get their 34th tournament loss against Memphis.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we'll see the 8th seed versus the 4th seed in one of those matchups.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Who just wrote Knight equals 33? Yeah, Knight equals 33, but Knights, they're the Knights. You got to add an S on that. 34.
Didn't Drew Brees go to Purdue?
Yes, he did.
Okay. All right. So this is about Left Eye. This isn't a long one though. I just kind of like got straight to the point on this one. Left Eye was arguably the most talented member of this all-girl group. She was a singer, rapper, songwriter, and producer. If you notice the trend in hip-hop groups, there's usually one member that falls victim to an untimely death. The word untimely equals 38 in the most important cipher.
Right.
NWA, UGK, Migos, Two Live Crew, Wu-Tang Clan, and Ghetto Boys are some examples. Left Eye's tumultuous relationship with their ex-boyfriend, Andre Rison, a former NFL player, was
for the Falcons, 38.
Yeah. Oh, I got to add that. Okay. Good one. Was very well publicized. She died 38 days after his 35th birthday. And you were just talking about 35. Catholic 35, rap 35, Sevengali, Satan, Baphomet, just the word I equals 35, TLC equals 35, car crash equals 35. She died in a car crash.
Right.
She died on the 115th day of the year, 115, Masonic 115, killing 115, assassin 115, death equals 25. And when she had the car crash, it was on the 25th of the month. La Ceiba, this is where she died. La Ceiba equals 33. Left Eye 33. Rockstar 33. She died a span of 33 days from her birthday. She died in a car crash. Car crash equals 44, single reduction. This happened in Honduras, 44. And she died 4 weeks and 4 days before her birthday for another 44.
Indeed.
Lisa Nicole Lopez, 67. Lisa, 67. Lopez, 67. Blood Sacrifice, 67. Human Sacrifice, 67. So just a little bit about Left Eye right there. I just ended it right there because I was like, I figured, well, that's straight to the point.
Yeah. Yeah. She was also the best looking member of the group. Well, one of the other girls in that group's cute too, actually. But
yeah, she was. But can you believe it's been over 20 years? It's just crazy. Seems like it was just the other day.
I remember being in a kid in my sister's Chevy Sprint, listening to TLC. My sister liked TLC. So.
And all right, so here's E-Money Bags. E-Money Bags, his real name was Eric Smith. He was born in Brooklyn, New York, but raised in Queens. He released one album. DJ K. Slay released a tribute mixtape. Well, DJ K. Slay's dead too, by the way.
Yeah.
DJ K. Slay released a tribute mixtape.
He died last year on the kill day.
Yep. I haven't got to his part.
Ronaldo's child died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He released a tribute mixtape to E-Money Bags after his death. And the mixtape contained freestyles and unreleased tracks by E-Money Bags. During his career, E-Money Bags worked with several well-known hip-hop acts, like Tupac, Live Squad, Prodigy, Noriega, Bravehearts, and Nas. He released his first and only album in '99, entitled "In E-Money Bags We Trust." Later, he would find himself in a dispute with fellow rapper Jay-Z. Notice how Jay-Z seems to always be involved in other rappers' careers, one way or the other. The bad blood is thought to have originated over Smith's displeasure with Jay-Z having an artist on Rockefeller Records named H Money Bags. A verbal confrontation between the two occurred during an interview with Jay-Z on New York's Hot 97.7 radio show. Prodigy, an associate of E-Money Bags. Notice both of these people are dead. Prodigy and E-Money Bags. And notice Prodigy and E-Money Bags both had beef with Jay-Z. They're both dead. So Prodigy, an associate of E-Money Bags, called the radio station and asked for Jay-Z. After being connected with the rapper, he handed the phone to E-Money Bags, and the two began to argue on air. Now notice, well, now notice how Prodigy and E-Money Bags both had issues with Jay-Z, and they are both dead. Following the very public argument, E-Money Bags recorded a couple of diss songs aimed towards Jay-Z. The best known of these records was entitled The Gospel. The Gospel equals 44 and 37. This song is also significant as it is the last song he recorded before his murder. So notice he comes out with a diss song to Jay-Z, and next thing you know, he's dead.
Yeah, funny how that works.
Yeah. E-Money Bags was born on a date with 37 numerology. He died in a shooting 37. E-Money Bags was killed at 9:45 p.m. at Queens Village. Queens Village equals 59. He was killed on July 16th, 2001. 7/16/2001. And this was a date with 44 numerology. Many believe he was murdered by hitmen connected with Queen's infamous gang, the Supreme Team. It is alleged that the murder was retaliatory after E-Money Bags killed McGriff's associate Colbert Johnson in December of '99. In February '07, Supreme Team's founder Kenneth Supreme McGriff was found guilty of ordering the murder of E-Money Bags and Troy Singleton in 2001. He was sentenced to life in prison for this and other crimes. Recall how I mentioned the number 139 being huge in hip hop on Big L's part. Eric Smith equals 139. Kenneth McGriff equals 139. And let's see. Eric Smith is E Money Bag's real name.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting.
You know, yeah, it's just like, you know, people like they might forget about some of these rappers, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think that it's important to bring all this up.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
You know, so let's see. Here's let's see. Oh, Mac Dre, right?
Uh-huh.
Since we did some East Coast rappers, we should go to the West Coast. Mac Dre was 34 years old when he was gunned down in a van in Kansas City, Missouri, on 11/1/2004.
We know how this was all synced up with what happened to Takeoff in Houston.
Yeah, exactly. Because Takeoff got killed 18 years later on that same exact date.
And you pointed out, or I forget who pointed it out, but there was the Migos shooting news in Miami,
yeah.
in the 305
Yeah, I pointed that out.
code, and then while they're in a van, and then Mac Dre died on that day in a van on the 305th day of the year, and it's all synced up. So
definitely, like, and then Kansas City Chiefs go on and win the Super Bowl.
Right.
You know, he got killed in Kansas City.
By the way, I just got to point out about this Purdue game. Their team is super tiny, but they have one big dude who literally looks like if Anthony Davis and Yao Ming had an albino child, he would look like the center for Purdue. Have you seen this guy?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he's got like the unibrow. I can't even tell what race he is. He's mixed everything, but he's a giant. But God, their team is small outside of him. He's huge. Everybody else on the team is tiny.
Huh. What is it? The second half already?
I don't. It's like, how are they even a 1 seed? Like their team is. That's why you just know the whole season was scripted. It's like this team is too small.
Huh. What's the score?
They're down to this. They're down to this team that won in the play-in tournament right now. I mean, it's early, but yeah, they're getting beat up on the boards because the only big guy they got is their big man. That guy gets in foul trouble. I want to see who comes off the bench. Their team is. It's like that St. Peter's Peacocks team last year. It's like, how are they going to beat that? Kentucky's got all these big giants. St. Peter's Peacocks, like the tallest players on the team's like 6'4". It's like, come on, man. John Calipari looking gangster. So.
Right, but it's just like Drew Brees. Drew Brees was kind of small for a quarterback.
Oh, exactly. Drew Brees is 5'10". He might not.
Yeah.
He could throw the ball though, but he's small.
Yeah. That's another Purdue connection. So Mac Dre was 34 years old when he died on 11/1/04. The word mural equals 34, rapper 34, murder 34. There are Mac Dre murals all over the world. Mac Dre was born in Oakland and he grew up in Vallejo. Mac Dre was a unique MC that had his own style. He was a strong figure in starting the hyphy movement in the Bay Area. He gets credited for starting the word Thiz, and he eventually started a label called Thiz Entertainment. The music glorified the use of MDMA or Molly, and the term Thiz used to describe the drug's euphoric effects.
Right.
Mac Dre was killed in a van in Kansas City. This is what we were just talking about. Wait, hold on. Okay. Yeah. Mac Dre was killed in a van in Kansas City. A car pulled up on the van he was riding in and started shooting on the highway. 18 years to the day, Takeoff from the Migos would be shot and killed on 11/1/22. The first attempts on the Migos' life was in a van in 2014. There were no casualties. The circumstances were like Mac Dre's situation. A gunman pulled up to the side of the Migos on the highway and started shooting. Keep in mind that shooting was in Miami, the 305 area code, and Takeoff died on the 305th day of the year in 22. Thiz equals 35. Takeoff had on Vans sneakers when he was killed.
Huh.
And yeah, in 2006, the Pack, a group from the Bay Area, released one of the biggest songs of the year. It was called Vans. The word Vans equals 56, and it was about the shoe. This was one of the biggest songs for the hyphy movement in 2006. Mac Dre was killed in a shooting inside of a vehicle. Mac Dre 37, killed 37, shooting 37, vehicle 37. Mac Dre also equals 44. He passed away in 04. Kill 44, shooting 44, execution 44, East Bay 44. Of course, Oakland is considered the East Bay. Also, Mac Dre equals 118, and like we just talked, we already talked about that 118. With the African rapper, but Mac Dre equals 118, just like Homicide. And Death. So what do you think? Do you think I'm just getting straight to the point? Because I'm not trying to make it like super long. Like, I just want to get straight to the point with these people. Like, sometimes I do write a little more on some of them than others, but for the most part, I'm trying to get like straight to the point. Like even if, let me see, hold on.
Like I said, I would just keep it short.
Yeah, I'm keeping it short. I'm
Top
trying.
50. You know, I wouldn't go longer than 100 pages because people don't like reading.
Yeah.
Unless you do a physical book.
That's what he's doing.
Oh, okay. Who are you gonna print it with?
I'm gonna print it on Book Baby for him, just the same way I did my books.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, I hate ebooks. I like reading stuff on paper.
By the way, this Kentucky game, Calipari can get his 57th tournament win. Providence equals 57. That's who Kentucky's playing.
Huh.
Unless they're going to get humiliated like last year. Coast to coast on the steel break dunk. Who's this guy? His hair looks like you. Truth does not exist. I was like you going down the court dunking.
You got the mullet too.
Oh, let's see. I got let's talk about Proof. Okay. You know, Proof was like Eminem's best friend, right?
Right.
And by the way, Eminem's stunt double just died up there in Washington.
We saw that one. He died out here by the Tri-Cities.
Yeah, in the Tri-Cities. And Eminem has a song called 3 a.m. and he died around 3 a.m. crossing the street. He got hit by a car.
In the Tri-Cities?
In the Tri-Cities, right. And Eminem has a song called 3 a.m.
It's just too much 3.
And yeah, there was a lot to that too. So Proof was the third popular rapper in a row to die that was from Detroit, Michigan. There was 3 it was Blade Icewood, Jay Dilla, and then Proof. So 3 Detroit rappers in a row.
Wait, hold on.
Truth
I have something to add here.
Breakaway dunk. You gotta turn it on, man.
Yeah, you know that you were just saying about a car crash. or that he died in a car accident. Car is 59.
Oh yeah, I got that. Yeah, car's
Oh,
59. No, he was crossing the street supposedly, and he got hit by a car or a truck or something. It was somewhere in Washington.
And it was weird because they like released the story like the day of the Super Bowl or the day before, and it supposedly happened like a month earlier.
Yeah, he died like 2 weeks earlier, and then they all of a sudden they want to announce it.
I forget what all the numbers were, but it has Super Bowl numbers in it.
Most common way people get murdered in cars.
There's a lot of rappers that die in cars. Period. Like car wreck, shot in a car, found dead in a car,
drive-by shooting.
Drive-by, yeah. You know, Tupac was killed in a car, so was Biggie.
Yep.
I mean, it's something big with these cars, like Mac Dre. We just talked about that. So Proof was the third rapper to die in a row, right? From Michigan. Detroit 44, Michigan 44, shooting 44, kill 44, execution 44. Proof's alter ego was Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry equals 61. I started the book explaining that rappers get murdered in what we call a Jesus ritual. All these words equal 61. Jesus, Christian, Christmas, cross, sins, God, solar deity, Holy Spirit, church, time, you, the word you, Y-O-U, the seed of life, the dirty dozen equals 61. The Dirty Dozen was the group that Proof started. D12, Eminem was in the group, right? So the Dirty Dozen equals 61. Rap God equals 61. Eminem has a song called Rap God. Assassin 61. Guns 61. Ritual Murder 61. Mind Control 61. Grim Reaper 61. Tupac equals 61. And Tupac is depicted on a cross on his last album, just like Jesus died on a cross. Jerry Garcia equals 61. He's the leader of the Grateful Dead. Right? So you following me, right?
Uh-huh.
Now consider numerology. 6 represents man / creation, and 1 represents God. Jesus is God's son, or God's mortal man he sent to earth. He is 61, man plus God. Proof and Eminem were best friends. They met in high school. They playfully called each other Duty. D-O-O-D-Y. Duty equals 27. His death came 27 weeks before Eminem's 34th birthday. Proof equals 34. Rapper 34. Murder 34. Jesus 34. Black 34. He was black. Ritual equals 27. Racism equals 27. Eminem equals 103, and 103 is a 27 prime number. It's interesting to note that Proof was black and Eminem is white. So the black rapper gets sacrificed for the success of the white rapper. Question mark. Eminem calls himself a rap god. Rap god equals 34. This song is in the record books for having the most words in a song. 1,560. Remember that song, Rap God?
Yeah. When I heard that song, I was like, did he record at this speed, or did they just like speed up his voice on the recording? So
yeah, I think that's what they did. They had to speed. They sped his voice up.
I think they did. I don't think he can really rap like that.
Yeah, it's not hard to speed a song up. Like, I mean, it's not hard at all. Like,
right, it can be done with production.
Eminem has sold the most records out of any rapper in hip hop history. From the day Proof died until the release of Rap God is 2,744 days later. So 2744. I talked about 27 and 44 in the same decode of Proof. The song was released on 10/15/2013, a date with 38 numerology. So Rap God dropped on a date with 38 numerology. Another way to say 2,744 days is 7 years and 187 days. Society of Jesus, 187. Ancient Accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, 187. 187 is the homicide code in California.
Yeah.
Proof died on April 11, 2006. So 411. Assassin equals 411. Assassin also equals 101. And April 11th is the 101st day of the year. And this was a day, April 11th is the day Proof was assassinated. Proof was at the CCC Club in Detroit, Michigan, playing pool with Keith Bender Jr. He got into a fight with some people at the club. And one of them, bouncer Mario Etheridge, pulled out a gun and shot Proof 4 times, right? As they reported it, right?
Right.
There are some reports that he was shot 3 times. Here we have the number 4 showing up again in a death. Notice the letter C is the 3rd letter. When you examine the name of the club, there are 4 C's in a row. 4 C's in a row. Proof died at 34 years old.
Okay.
So 4 C's in a row. Yep. Mario Etheridge equals 137, 83, and 79. This was the bouncer that killed Proof. 137 is the 33rd prime number. He was a bouncer. The word bouncer equals 33. He shot and killed Proof while Eminem was 33 years old. Right?
I'm listening.
The word hip equals 33, as in hip hop. Secrecy 33. Order 33. Eminem's 34th birthday was a date with 33 numerology. Bouncer Mario Etheridge equals 118. Eminem was born on a date with 118 date numerology. Homicide and death equals 118. Proof was born on a date with 32 numerology. Eminem equals 32. America 32. He is one of the biggest rappers in America. When Proof died, it was reported by the media that his alcohol intoxication level was 0.32. Right? So he dies. His alcohol intoxication level 0.32. He's born on a date with 32 numerology. Eminem equals 32. America equals 32. This was over Detroit's legal level of 0.8.
And he's proof, right? Like proof's a word to describe like alcohol percentage.
Oh yeah, good one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you're bringing that up.
Honestly, I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah,
It's so obvious. Yeah. Sometimes it's easy to miss like the most obvious thing, though.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta throw that in there. All right, so
Patrick's Day. So it's a day of alcohol. You gotta have that observation on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, right. All right, so Proof's name in the movie 8 Mile was Lil Tick.
Hold on. Oh,
yeah.
I can't believe it. Yao Ming Davis, his real name is Zach Eddy. I don't watch. People probably know that, but he is the whole Purdue team. This guy is a giant, Zach Eddy.
What is he, about 7 feet?
He looks like he's 7'6".
Jesus.
It's because the rest of the team's so small, but like he's the whole team. So anyway, go ahead.
But is he scoring all the points too?
He's the defense. He's just everything. They had to take him off the court though for a minute. Now they're all super small.
Huh.
Real quick, yo, Jonathan, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you heard? All right, so Proof definitely knew he was finna be sacrificed. Have you heard his last album right before he died?
Oh, I'm about to get to that right now.
Okay, cool.
I'm getting to that right now. All right, so Proof's name in the movie 8 Mile was Lil Tick. Lil Tick equals 97 and 43. Both of these numbers I have reviewed. The shooting that happened. So notice his name is Lil Tick in the movie 8 Mile. Lil Tick equals 43. The shooting that happened in the club that night happened at approximately 4:30 a.m. Right, for another 43. And of course, RIP equals 43. According to the media, and remember, Gangster Boo died at 43. Sean Price died at 43. There's a lot to 43.
How's his name spelled? Lil Tick? Is it Tick like the bug?
It's Liltic.
Oh, okay.
Lil Tick. So yeah, so Lil Tick equals 43, and the shooting happened at 4:30 a.m. The word killing equals 43. Mario Etheridge was not convicted of murder because it was determined he acted in self-defense.
Notice club
So here it
is
is, right?
38.
What is it?
Club is 38, 70, and 25.
Oh, the word club is 38?
Yeah, club is 38.
Oh, wow, that's a good one. See, that's why I like talking to you guys, because then it instead of just me just writing the book and I'm just thinking I caught everything, when I talk about it out loud, you guys catch stuff that I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So the word club is 38. That's a big one, because a lot of rappers die in a club.
Yep.
Lots of them.
Migos, I think.
Hey,
okay, cool.
You guys know See Through the Script is, right?
See Through the Script, yeah.
Yeah, he did a really good video on Eminem's sacrifice, proof sacrifice for Eminem's career, and it talks about the song "Toy Soldiers." And the music video is like an exact reenactment. They even have proof in there, in the hospital bed, but the song wasn't even written about him.
The song wasn't even written right. Well, check this out, right? Check this out. Proof solo album. This is what you were just talking about. Proof solo album, Searching for Jerry Garcia, was released 10 years to the day that the frontman of the Grateful Dead passed away. 10 days to the date, right? On this album, check this out, right? On this album, he has a song called Kurt Cobain.
Yes.
Where he talks about his own death. Weird,
Great
right?
song.
Yeah. This is crazy. This is the last song on the album. Like, what are the odds it is now? The last song on the album is called Kurt Cobain. And he's talking about his own death. Now, check out the album cover and you'll see him holding a skeleton. This is supposed to be Jerry Garcia. Kurt Cobain equals 41. King equals 41. Gangster Rap equals 41. The song Rap God by Eminem was released 2 days before Eminem's 41st birthday. Many consider Eminem the king of rap. He was signed by Dr. Dre, who is considered one of the forefathers of gangster rap. And that part about Toy Soldiers, I got to add that.
Yeah, if you want more notes on it, See Through the Script did a 2-minute video. It's really good.
Yeah, I definitely got to add that the Toy Soldiers part. But you know, Proof is the one who kind of like convinced Eminem to rap. Like,
oh yeah, they had that car freestyle back in the day. That shit was dope.
mm-hmm.
Rappers used to, like, you know, put words together that meant something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but it's crazy when you like start looking at this, like, and you add the numbers to it. It's like it really is kind of mind blowing. Like,
what was like Eminem's most immediate work to Proof's death?
I think, wasn't he like retired, quote unquote, for a couple of years, and then he came out with Relapse a couple of years after, right?
yeah, and he dedicated like he's probably got 2 or 3 songs dedicated to Proof.
So he was in his retirement phase when he died?
I think so. I think. Well, I know.
No, he wasn't. No, Eminem was only 30, 33 or 34 years old when Proof died, because Proof died in 06. So he was kind of like still kind of sort of in his prime.
Yeah, but like there was like a 4 or 5 year period where he didn't release any music, and he was in like rehab. There is a
Yeah, I
song
think that was
there's a song that's not on any albums. It's called "Difficult," and that I don't know when it came out, but I'm pretty sure that was his tribute song to him, and it was just like an unreleased bonus track or something.
okay.
You might want to look into that. Called "Difficult," which equals 45.
Difficult. Okay.
Hip hop and ritual.
Okay. Difficult. So since we're talking about Eminem, of course they say Eminem is the one who brought 50 to Dr. Dre and then got him to deal with Aftermath. But Jam Master Jay was the one who originally signed 50 Cent. And so Jam Master Jay, this is the part about Jam Master Jay right here. Jam Master Jay was the DJ of Run DMC. This group gets credit for breaking hip hop into the mainstream. Here we have another example of one of the members of a hip hop group being assassinated. In 1989, he started Jam Master Jay Records. That equals 74. The label is recognized for signing 50 Cent and Onyx. Now, the funny thing about Onyx is no member of Onyx has died yet. But that doesn't mean that won't happen, right?
Definitely not. I mean,
so
somebody in that group's probably approaching age 59 by now.
Yeah, or age 50, and it's the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and it's 50. In other words, hip hop turns 50 years old this year. Somebody's probably 50 years old in that group, and Jam Master Jay discovered 50 Cent and Onyx at the same time. So 50 Cent's 50th anniversary of hip hop. So the word ritual equals 27. Racism 27. There are 27 books in the New Testament. So when Jam Master Jay died, it was 116 days after 50 Cent's 27th birthday. Right? 116 days after his 27th birthday. Get Rich or Die Trying equals 207. The 0 does not count in numerology. So here we have another 27. Execution 116. African American 116. Curtis Jackson III 116. Curtis Jackson equals 163, and 163 is the 38 prime number. 50's real name, right? And from the death of Jam Master Jay until 50 Cent released one of the highest selling hip hop albums in history is 99 days. This album went diamond. Get Rich or Die Trying equals 99. This album was released on 2/6/2003. So 20 years ago, right?
Okay.
And February 6th can be written 6/2. Jam Master Jay died on the day leaving 62 days left in the year. He also died on a date with 62 numerology. Sacrifice, Curtis Jackson, and Jason Missile are all words that equals 46 in full reduction gematria. Jason Mitchell, that's his real name. That's Jam Master Jay's real name. His label folded. His label folded after his untimely demise. 50 Cent released Get Rich or Die Trying on Shady, Aftermath / Interscope. So Jam Master Jay died 83 days before his upcoming 38th birthday. He was 37 at the time of his death. Run DMC sums to 73, the reflection of 37. So he's dead 83 days before his upcoming 38th birthday.
Coincidence?
Yeah. Run DMC 73, Sacrifice 73, Ritual Sacrifice 73. He was killed at 7:30 p.m. according to the media, right? 7:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So Jam Master Jay was from Jamaica, Queens, just like 50 Cent. Jamaica, Queens equals 79. Murder 79, Society of Jesus 79, and almost 20 years after Mizzle was murdered, the police supposedly gathered enough evidence to press charges on Ronald Washington and Carl Jordan Jr. The report claims Mizzle had agreed on a deal to collectively buy 10 kilograms of cocaine with Washington and Jordan. However, allegedly after an argument, he cut them off, which reportedly led to his murder. Both men have pled not guilty, and the case will be going to trial in February 2023, which was supposed to be last month, but they pushed it back. Yeah, right. 20 years, right. So they kill him in 03 in February. Well, yeah, they kill him in 03. No, it wasn't February, but it was 03. Then 20 years later, right, Black History Month, right. So notice he was supposed to buy 10 keys with these guys, right? The word cocaine equals 50. And the fact that cocaine equals 50 reminds me of 50 Cent, who allegedly started selling crack cocaine at the age of 12. In 2023, hip hop turned 50 years old. So cocaine equals 50, and we're talking about 50 cents. And this is the year that hip hop turns 50 years old.
You had that Pop Smoke ritual the other year on the 50th day of the year.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. That was humongous. That was huge.
I never seen that before. A moldy piece of garlic out of the shell. Weird.
What are you cooking?
You know that cocaine is also 139 the 34th prime.
Oh yeah, I talk a lot. I talk a lot about 139. Yeah, that's big. What are you cooking, Zach?
I'm cutting up garlic and ginger for something I'm gonna make later.
Oh, okay.
Sweet lady always laughs at how long it takes me to peel garlic. I don't know how she does it. She just comes in and it just peels right off for her. For me, it's like I gotta soak it in water. I don't know how she does it. It takes me forever to peel garlic. So getting the prep done now.
Got it. All right, so look what I wrote about Biggie. I didn't write a lot about Biggie. I just try to get straight to the point with Biggie because there's a lot to Biggie, but I just try to get straight to it. So I mentioned Tupac's diss song towards Biggie, which is "Hit 'Em Up" equals 38 in full reduction. Biggie's wife's Faith is mentioned in the song. The number 44 is another interesting number in this study, especially as it relates to hip hop. The word faith is 44. Valletta Wallace, 44. That's Biggie's mother. Kill, 44. Deceased, 44. Shooting, 44. Execution, 44. Numerology, 44. Officer, 44. Department, 44. Who shot ya equals 44. And Who Shot Ya was Biggie's diss song towards Tupac, right? So notice that Biggie's diss song towards Tupac equals 44, and Tupac's diss song towards Biggie equals 38.
Right.
These two numbers, 38, isn't that crazy or what?
Indeed.
It's just the way they spell it too, you know what I'm saying? With the fucked up spelling, so the numbers could come out right.
Right.
And these two numbers, 38 and 44, are the biggest numbers when it comes to hip hop related deaths. 39 is the number when it comes to New York. New York equals 39. Biggie 39. Shakur 39. Puff Daddy 39. Diamond 39. Method Man equals 39. And of course, the reason I put Diamond in there is because Biggie's second album went diamond. Right? So all these 39s, right? Method Man is the only rapper that actually raps besides Biggie himself on his debut album. And Method Man equals 39. And that's just a lot of 39. New York, Biggie, Shakur, Method Man, Puff Daddy, Diamond. Of course, Biggie died
Aaron
on
Rodgers
3
to the Jets at age 39.
Right, at age 39. Of course, Biggie died on
Favre,
3.
his first season with the Jets, he turned 39 years old.
Huh.
Same patterns over and over.
And remember, Biggie died on 3/9.
Right.
3/9 in 97 in a drive-by shooting.
Right.
Biggie's debut album is called Ready to Die. Ready to Die equals 56. It was released on 9/13/94, right? A date that can be written 13/9, kind of like 139. It's the same number that we keep talking about, 139 over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Big L died on 139th Street.
Right.
And Biggie's second album, Life After Death, went diamond. Diamond is another 39 word, which is rare, especially in hip hop. Notice his first album is called Ready to Die. This is no coincidence. Biggie is considered by many to be one of the greatest rappers of all time. It's no coincidence he had beef with Tupac, who was also considered to be one of the greatest rappers of all time. And I just ended it just like that because.
Yeah, that's a good way to end it.
Yeah.
Both 38 date numerology. That's what put the number on the map for me when I first started.
Mm-hmm. It's the same numbers over and over. When you like really go through this, you just notice like it's the same numbers over and over and over again.
It is. It is. Oh my God! Another hustle play from Truth Does Not Exist. Oh my God, that was nice. It was the best play I saw of the tournament.
So who do you like? Just tell me who you think your top maybe 6 or 7 teams are.
Well, like I said, man, the one team to me that checks all the boxes is Old Marquette. They got the right coach. They got the right Jesuit connection. They got the right numbers for the day of the championship. So see if it's 1984 all over again with the Jesuit school. Find out.
Oh, I remember Dwayne Wade went to Marquette and his son's now a girl.
Right, that's part of it too, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like with all these women, men turning into women, and he played for Marquette, and he had back then he had a killer tournament. They ain't win it all, but
that's how he got on the map. Nobody really knew who Dwayne Wade was before that March Madness tournament.
I'm sure that once you get it right, your secret admirer is going to be making another video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dwayne Wade. Hold on, I got to put him in the calculator. Dwayne Wade equals 42, of course. Wow.
Yeah. Huh. I really just I keep saying that just again, first black coach ever won it in '84, and hardly any black coaches win it. It's like one of those overdue things. After this Super Bowl with the first ever with 2 black QBs, I'm just wondering if another black coach does it. And really, the only 2 black coaches that seem to have a shot are Shaka Smart for Marquette or what's his face for Houston, Sampson.
What do you think about
the Houston coaches? He could do the ultimate 42 ritual if he won it in his own city. I mean, that's not out of the question. So,
what you think about I'm gonna flip the camera around. Hold on. What you think about Alabama?
Well, if Alabama wins it, their coach stays on 84 losses. I mean, that's definitely a narrative. And it's perfectly synced with Nick Saban, too. It's exactly 22 weeks after Nick Saban's 71st birthday. Basketball 71, basketball 22, March Madness 71. But, the Alabama narratives for the coach to stay on 84 losses in the 84 tournament, definitely not out of the question. Especially now that Arizona's out of that bracket, that makes it a lot easier for them. That was like really that was the number 2 seed in Alabama's the number 1, so made their path easier.
Yeah, and they screwed them over on football, so.
Yeah, Alabama definitely has a narrative.
I'll tell you, the best call of the year, if you ask me, was the best call of the college football year to me was when you called Tennessee over Bama in that football game.
Oh yeah, they had the
Yeah,
numbers. But the
yeah,
best
that was
payout that we had all year was the playoff because we were super confident that TCU was going to beat. Who'd they beat in the college playoff again? They had the
oh
really
yeah,
good
Michigan.
They had the perfect
Yeah.
ritual to beat Michigan.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too.
That
I
was
won
the
on
big
that one
payout.
too.
I remember that. Then I remember your secret
Travis said we
admirer
had a
video
bad
about that
weekend.
one too.
Travis
Yeah.
said we had a real bad weekend. It's like, come on,
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
Right. I won. Yeah, I won huge on that Tennessee game. I won huge when Tennessee beat Bama, and I won on that when TCU beat Michigan.
This was the worst college football season in forever, though. This year, there was nothing really to write home about outside of a couple games.
Yeah, yeah. That Ohio game, that Ohio State game, kind of threw me off because I thought they was going to beat Georgia. They had to beat the whole game.
Well, like I said, though, that was the thing that was tough about that game. I know the way they lost it at the end, but Georgia and Ohio State had the two best narratives to win the championship. And the Georgia thing did make a lot of sense. Like I said, that whole year is going to be about 8. And I thought it was, at the beginning of the year, I thought it was either Ohio State gets their 8th championship or Nick Saban, but instead it was Georgia becoming the 8th team to win back-to-back. In the building, and it made sense doing it in LA after what they did the year before with Georgia. We didn't miss it all last year with the championship. We had that thing figured out week 2, but remember last year the Super Bowl was Matt Stafford of Georgia and the Rams, and then this year Georgia comes back and wins in the Rams Stadium. And the Big 15 ritual, and then on the 15th of the month, 6 days after the championship, their player's dead. Supposedly a reckless driving incident.
Yeah, right. It's always a car wreck. I swear to God.
Yeah. Yesterday I had this idiot just if I would have had a gun in my glove box, I either would have got away with homicide yesterday or I would have been in prison for murder charges. But yesterday when I was coming back from the Tri-Cities, it's like a 20-some mile drive, or so I guess about 30 miles actually. 30-mile drive, and it's not very popular out there, so there's not a big hill on the road, but I was in the left lane, and just occasionally there'll be like a big semi going real slow because it's 60 for semis and 70 for cars on the freeway. And I always drive about 8 miles an hour over the speed limit. So I'm going 78 and a 70. And this huge pickup truck just came flying up behind me. He's probably driving 100 miles per hour the way it came up on me. But at the time, there was no other cars like anywhere around. So if he really wanted to pass, just go in the right lane and go around me. I'm not going to get out of your way because as fast as you're going, if I go right, you go right, we're going to run into each other. So anyway, he flies up and he just starts riding my tail end and then just riding. And I didn't move, and finally he drove around me. But it's like, dude, just drive around. There's nobody else here. And so then when he gets in front, of me, and then he slams on the brakes and goes all the way down to 20 miles per hour. I was like, this fucking idiot, dude. Like, people like him, man, it's just like, I should be allowed to shoot that motherfucker and put him in the ditch. But anyway, that's also why I don't keep a gun in my glove box, because I probably would shoot people, so. Anyway.
Yeah. People make you want to do some shit to them.
Yeah, because like, what the fuck are you doing, moron? First of all, just drive around, then just slam on the brakes. What a dumbass.
I've said a bunch of times they should have IQ tests for taking a driving test.
Yeah, it's not like I'm even going slow on the left lane. I'm going almost 10 over. I mean, it's just like, go around if you want to drive 100 miles per hour.
Yeah. Like I was at the DMV the other day, trying to get a California license, right? And so the lady's like, well, you got to take the you got to take the written exam, because I already got a license, Florida license, but I was like, I need a California license. So I go there, right? And she's like, hey, you gotta take the written exam, right?
Right.
And she's like, well, you need to go home and study and come back. And I'm like, I'm not gonna study. I'm like, how? Like, it's just common sense. Like, I don't feel like I need to study. And she was like, well, I heard it's hard. A lot of people fail it. I'm like, I'm not studying anything.
Crazy.
I'm like, I'm not studying anything. 20 minutes later, I pass, because you're supposed to get, like, if you get if you get 9 wrong, you failed. So I got 5 wrong, and I passed the test in like 25 minutes. And it's like people sitting next to me, they're on like their 3rd and 4th try. Like, I'm like, how simple is this? It's like there's like some stuff you learn in elementary school. Like,
it's that idiocracy.
I'm like, I can't believe it. Like, people are actually taking this test 3 and 4 times right next to me.
Yeah, I remember
It is sad.
I took the course in school because if you take the course and you can pay less for insurance. And like I was like, this is the easiest course in my schooling. It was so
Exactly.
easy. Everything was such a like that was literally the easiest course in my entire schooling.
Yeah.
It was like don't cross a double don't cross a road with 2 solid lines, like stuff like it was just like obvious stuff that I already knew. You know, it was like people fail this. I don't know, maybe it's not hard enough, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
I remember
maybe it's
in
not
my
hard enough.
community. Yeah, in my community, we have a roundabout, and we had a big yard sale, and a bunch of people came in that don't live here, and they were all going the wrong way on the roundabout. Like, and it's like there's only one way to go, and there's like a big sign that says one way, and everybody's going the wrong way. It's like, oh my god, how fucking stupid are these people?
Yeah. That was actually one of the questions on the test, because it says if somebody's in a roundabout, you're supposed to yield to the person already in the roundabout.
Yeah, they have the right of way.
Right. Yeah. Maybe they need to make the test harder. Yeah, a lot of bad drivers. Yeah, a lot of bad drivers.
There should be a lot
got
of stuff that should require an IQ test. Like, you shouldn't be able to get on the internet unless you take an IQ test.
If you ever have Indian people move to your city, you'll realize that, like Indians from India, like the ones getting all the big tech jobs, you realize they like to honk at everybody. If you go to Seattle now, everybody's just honking at everybody. It's Indian drivers just honking everywhere. So, it all made sense to me when I heard D26 walking the streets of India. I was like, holy shit, it's just like Seattle. Everybody's honking. So.
But I gotta say, Montgomery, Alabama, probably got the worst drivers I ever seen. Like I'm telling you, every time I come outside, it never fails. I always see a wreck. There's at least one accident every single day. Well, they drive fast and reckless in Miami, but they just don't do stupid shit like they do in Montgomery.
Dante Stallworth ran over that person in Miami, and I was like down there a month later, and I almost got ran over. I was like, man, maybe this really does happen in Miami. Drive crazy down here.
Oh yeah, I remember Dante Stallworth. Yeah. They do drive crazy, but they don't do, and they do drive fast, but they don't do stupid shit like they do in Montgomery. Like, like it's a difference between driving fast and just driving totally reckless. Like,
yeah.
Here we got a bunch of people from other countries. They have no idea how to drive.
Where you at?
Oh, I'm in between Orlando and Miami. I'm in Port St. Lucie. You've probably driven through it a couple times.
Oh yeah, I know Port St. Lucie. Yeah. It's pretty cool down there. I like Port St. Lucie.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's expensive living in Florida, man. That's another reason I moved to Alabama, because it just costs so much to live in Florida now. Like, because everybody's moving to Florida. Man, I heard that
everybody's buying a house here, and like now everything's so expensive, and it's like, especially here in Port St. Lucie, like there's like nothing to do. That's why I'm home all day. I don't really even want to go outside because the weather's so terrible. It's like I get the most sun in the winter when it's like actually nice out, because anytime that's not winter, it's like 100 degrees outside.
Yeah.
It's so hot here that like sometimes I'm usually never cold, but I'll go outside. Like, I'm cold inside the house. I'll get up and like I haven't eaten anything, whatever. I'm freezing. I'll walk outside and I'm instantly sweating. Like, instantly. It's so hot, and it's like, oh god. And like the AC bill's like super high because it's like it's on all the time.
Yeah.
My room gets to like 80 degrees because the insulation's bad on my room. So it's like I cannot wait to leave this. It's so humid and like it stinks outside. Like it smells like swamp. I like if you don't live here, you won't know how it smells. But like it has like the swamp smell, like rotting something. I can never put my finger on what it is, but like it's like this like I don't know, this like gross rotting thing that like smells everywhere. It's like close the window. It's freaking in here.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to move to like I've always wanted to move to like Washington or something where it's like cold, because I can handle the cold, but God, I cannot handle the heat. That's like
Yeah.
We don't got topless beaches like Miami.
Yeah, the new beaches, yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
mountains. That's like I've been to the mountains before. Ooh, those mountains are nice.
Yeah, we do got mountains.
Yeah, Port St. Lucie, yeah. I know exactly where you're at.
It'll be nice hiking up north in Washington. That's something I wanted to do for a while.
Yeah.
Huh.
Washington's not too bad on the east of the mountains because it's sunny most of the time. So,
Yeah.
however, this year, just like how California's getting way more clouds and rain, it's been cloudier on this side of the. Because I moved to this side of the mountains in 2018, and it's still a lot more. It's way more sunny on the west side, but this has been the cloudiest year so far in all the years I lived here.
Yeah, here in Florida the weather's crazy. Like it's like a nice day, like it's sunny and whatever. And then within minutes it's pouring. Like it just out of
Yeah,
nowhere. It happens
that's
all the time.
typical Florida weather. That's
Yeah.
typical Florida. But I remember when I was in Yakima last summer, I was like, man, I can't believe like how the sun comes up like at 5 in the morning. And
Oh,
like
wow.
it seems like the sun never goes down in Yakima.
Well,
I was like,
again, the further north you go, the longer the days are in the summertime, but the shorter the days are in the wintertime. So, like, you came here in the winter, it's like dark all the time.
oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
and it was in summer, yeah.
you know what's nice is that when you're up north, you don't get direct because I'm near the equator, so like you get the sun hits you like directly on. But when you're more up north, then the sun hits like this sideways, so it's like more spread out. That's like the sun here is way too hot. Like it's already nasty outside, and like I'll need like an umbrella or something. I'll get sunburned. I'm not even white. Like I mean, I have some Jewish, but like I'm Latin, and I still like I'll get sunburned like really fast in the sun because it's so like just direct on. It's
Yeah. What's your nationality?
my dad's Cuban, my mom's Colombian, and then they both have like Jewish in their family.
Okay. My mom's from Panama.
Oh, that's
And
cool. I've been there. Yeah, that's a nice place there.
yeah. But did you know that Colombia used to own Panama and Panama fought for its independence?
I didn't know. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, Colombia used to own Panama. And then Panama fought for its independence and became its own country. Yeah.
Yeah, I had stopped in Panama. I had went to Colombia, Medellin, and I stopped in Panama, like because the plane stopped there because it was cheaper. So I didn't
Yeah.
spend too much time there. But I was in Colombia for a month.
Huh. I've been to
Everything
Panama. I ain't been to Colombia yet though.
Yeah, the food's really good. It's kind of dangerous, but like every time I up in the apartment I was staying at, it was like in a nicer part of town, but every night you would hear gunshots. Like you could hear like the bullets flying through the air at night.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Huh.
and like my family's been there. I've seen like people get jacked, like get their car jacked just like in broad daylight, stuff like that. You don't really see that stuff here too much unless you're like in the hood or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Other than that, though, it was nice. The food was good and everything was super cheap. It was like 25 cents to take a cab somewhere
Oh wow.
with that conversion. Like to a trip across town was like $5.
Wow.
I think it was like
I love Colombian food.
Oh yeah,
I
when
yeah.
you go to Colombia, like the food from there, it's delicious. The stuff that they make here, like the Colombian restaurants here, kind of suck because there's not really like too many real Colombians here. But yeah, I like the
Yeah.
Cuban cuisine.
No, they got some in Miami. They got
Oh yeah,
they got some real
Miami.
Colombian restaurants in Miami. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And all the restaurants in Miami. See, if you live in Port St. Lucie, like the best Latin food restaurant that there is here is like Taco Bell. I did find a Cuban place here that was good. It's so good. They make Cuban sandwiches, but all the restaurants here are terrible.
Taco
Like
Bell?
every single one.
Okay. Okay.
They're like all that like
I
they
didn't
they open like they close in like a year or something because like nobody wants to go there anymore. Like they open, they're good, and then they suck afterward, and then they close, and it's like just a cycle like that. All the restaurants here are really bad.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to say Taco Bell. That's funny.
Yeah, that's like the standard here. It's like the best place that you can go to is like a fast food place, other than like 2 or 3 places that are good. The sushi places here are good, but anything else is like
Yeah. Huh. So, oh, here I got, okay.
To talk about?
Soldier Slim. Let me do Soldier Slim real quick.
Want to get in the room if you guys need more to talk about.
I'm wearing the Route 66 hat on 3/17, 317 the 66th prime. I was listening into your conversation about food and Miami and that kind of stuff. And truth to knowledge, your name's Sebastian, right?
yeah.
Okay, and it's funny because you mentioned that you have some Jewish descent. And earlier this week, I was watching some of the World Baseball Classic, and they had Team Israel, which is all Americans that are Jewish. But Team Israel, they're playing games in Miami. And I was probably like, oh, yeah, they probably have all the Miami Jews there watching the game. It was all the other teams in Miami were like Venezuela and the Dominican and Puerto Rico. So all their supporters were seemed like they were having fun from what I was watching from the highlights that I caught.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I remember I did go to, like, back when I was younger, my dad would take me on trips to go see like baseball games across the country. Obviously, I didn't know sports were scripted back then, but I remember we went to a Marlins game back when they played at the football stadium.
Oh yeah, when they played at Joe Robbie Stadium is what we used to call it.
It changed its name a bunch of times, but yeah, I always thought it was interesting how there were like weird dimensions and stuff because it was not a baseball stadium.
Yeah, the Mets stadium that we have here, the Mets come here and play. I don't really watch sports, so I don't know too much, but I've decoded it's on it's right off of exit 121, and then I think the name of the stadium is 121. It's this big. It's this huge.
They do shit
stadium.
like that all the time.
Yeah, it's like a massive stadium. I think it can fit like 30,000 people or something like that.
For spring training,
like that.
Probably not. Maybe
yeah,
like,
the stadium here. If you look at the Port St. Lucie Met Stadium, it's
not
massive.
30, maybe like 13,000.
Yeah, maybe like 13,000. Here, let me see.
I remember I went to see a Marlins game. It was the second world. It was the year they won their second World Series.
Gary Sheffield days?
That's right. Yep. Moises Alou.
Gary Sheffield used to be my favorite baseball player to watch bat. I used to love the way he moved the bat around.
The way he used to hold the bat, yeah. There was Moises Alou, Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, they took all. They were like the Yankees of Florida. Took everybody's good players.
Yeah, and they won 2 World Series within a 5-year span, and that was the first time that ever been done.
Yeah.
And they were big underdogs to the Yankees, and nobody think they could beat the Yankees, and they beat them.
Yeah. I get it now, because when I went down to Miami, I was like, everybody down here is Cuban. Cubans, baseball players.
Oh yeah, everybody's Cuban. I went to Miami a couple months ago, and like the cops were Cuban. Everybody there's Cuban.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the high school I went to was probably like at least 70% Cuban.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it felt. I don't mind it, though. I felt like when I went to Miami, I felt like I was in another country.
Yeah.
I had a good time in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
it's a fun place.
Yeah,
there's a Cuban food truck down the street from where I live. They have good stuff there.
Yeah, they have those good Cuban sandwiches. Oh man, I was like, I made the first Cuban. I made my own first Cuban sandwich, and my dad would like died. He loved it. It was like I have it like in my blood to make that stuff.
Give me a sec. What else? Hold on.
What dish are you making, Zach? What are you prepping?
Stir fry.
Oh, okay. Rice?
Yeah, I got rice.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
You're gonna put some sake in the rice? That's always a good secret when you cook it. Gives it some extra flavor. You never tried that? You gotta put like put a shot of sake in the rice when you cook it, and it gives it like an extra flavor. It's really good.
Interesting. The last time I had some sake was probably like 2007, 2008. It's been a minute.
Hey, so do you like where you live now better, or do you miss Yakima?
I miss Yakima.
Well, I guess that's not the way I could add.
It's just a small town. I mean, it's not bad out here. It's real quiet. Nobody lives here.
Yeah. Oh, it just ain't nothing going on. Okay, yeah. I thought Yakima was all right. I mean, you know.
It's okay. I mean, it's a small town too. It's a lot bigger than this place.
Small town
like a big city compared to this place.
Yeah. I found a couple of good restaurants in Yakima.
Were they Mexican spots?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's good Mexican food there. I mean, there's a ton of Mexicans in Yakima. It's over 50% Hispanic, so. Little Mexico out here. Yeah, the only real restaurants in this town are Mexican restaurants. So.
Oh yeah, those are good. Those are good.
Yeah. You can always find a good Mexican restaurant, yeah. No matter where you're at.
Right.
Probably except Europe.
Yeah.
No Mexicans in Europe. It's funny though, like everybody gets so mad, like, oh, they're stealing all the jobs. It's like everybody's hiring and like nobody wants to work.
Right.
You know?
But supposedly 10 gazillion are coming across the border per day, according to Fox News.
Yeah. It's like, let them take all the jobs. It's like nothing, like everybody's understaffed and like nothing's getting done. Like they had to like reduce my garbage. They only pick it up like once a week now. They only pick up big stuff once a month. Used to be twice a week, and like before that, like it was a disaster. Like the whole city was just filled with garbage for months because like nobody was picking it up, and it would just sit there. Like you would go outside and it just smelled like trash all over the city because there's just garbage rotting out there for like weeks at a time. Nobody was picking it up.
Oh, looks like somebody else trying to get in the room. Rosie and her butterflies.
Uh-oh.
That's Sebastian's girlfriend.
Yeah, it is.
All right, what's up? It's full house.
Oh shit, I'm in here. Yo, what's up, guys? It's True Vibration Podcast.
Oh, hey.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. I just getting off of work. I saw Zach was still alive, so I thought to swing by and see what was going on. How's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Good.
Yo, Zach, what are you up to, man?
Hold on, what'd you say? I was tending to the stir fry. What's up?
What'd you say, Zach?
I said when you asked me something, I couldn't hear because I was cooking by the stir fry. The fan's on.
Yo, cook us all something, Zach. Come on, man.
What'd you
We're all
make?
hungry.
I already had my dinner. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's too late to be eating out on the East Coast.
I'm on the Gulf
Yeah, I'm
Coast.
on
Does
the
that
west.
count?
I mean, I usually don't eat dinner till like after 8 o'clock. It's only 7 o'clock here.
Well, I guess that's your schedule. That's late to eat.
I mean, now with daylight savings time, the sun won't set till like 8 o'clock, and I usually don't like eating when the sun's still out. Wait until the sun sets to have
What I
dinner.
was trying to come back here and talk to you guys about is about nano smart dust in 2,500 food products inside of the United States. And they don't require labeling from the FDA. It falls under a gray zone on the law where there's just no law. You understand? So it doesn't matter that the particles are so fine that they can slip through your gut and like cut little holes in your gut. Not only can they do that, but it can also get through the blood-brain barrier into your fucking brain. Now, imagine the damage that does.
Well, I don't know
I
how
can
they need
explain
it.
it. I used to be an LPN, and actually, it's really funny because not only the PCR tests were created in China, but so were the miracle magical cures. They would come in from refrigerated trucks, right? The I don't want to get Zach's channel hurt, so I'm just going to say the miracle cure. And the box that they come in, it literally says made in China. The PCR tests, when I was learning to become an LPN back in 2018, the PCR test is made for parasites. So why are we using PCR tests for a flu-like disease?
Onions kill parasites. Garlic, ginseng, ginger,
Oh yeah,
green tea.
I eat that shit every day. Every meal has that stuff nearly.
If they wanted to solve this opiate crisis, they would introduce people to kratom, and it would destroy the need for pharmaceuticals. And I think they want everyone to be eating synthetic drugs and not turning towards nature for cures.
Well,
In fact, I think I read a UN article about that specifically.
Kratom's good for like getting off of drugs, but I would not want to have kratom, just for the fun of it. I don't have it. It's like that does fuck with you if you have that.
I don't like kratom.
How much did you try when you tried it?
I had two. I don't want to call them pills, but I'm just gonna call them pills.
We'll just call them capsules instead. How about that?
Capsules. Yeah.
Right. Did you make a tea or what did you do with it?
I was just at work. I just felt really dehydrated and like I felt good for about 20 minutes, and then my body got like really dehydrated really quick. It felt like.
So kratom doesn't work like a pain pill. It doesn't work on the same channels in the brain. It works on that mu and delta opioid receptors, which are never really active unless you're under the influence of something like morphine, which lights up the entire tree.
I'm highly addicted. I'm highly allergic to opioids. Like, if I had even a little morphine in me, it would kill me.
Morphine.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend taking it then, because I would compare it to be closer to Vicodin than coffee. And you don't consume the same thing. You're not consuming the nuts of the plant. You're consuming the leaf. And it's hard for the body to break down plant material in any case. That's why if you're going to do it, you should be making a tea out of it.
It's probably like anything else. Like, you gotta go to the right place, and those places.
Well, there's a place in Florida actually that has their own orchard of kratom trees. And I got a leaf from this place, and it was almost like getting a coca leaf, because you bite it and like you chew on it, and it would make your entire mouth numb.
We're at in Florida. I'm in Florida.
I don't know, man. You got to look who's growing it down there. You know. I wish I could find the person who I got them from and give you his number. If I find him, I can go through my email and find him eventually. Too bad there isn't a Discord we can all get together in.
There's I have a Discord. I think it's
well, I got one too. You know.
I think I'm on your.
Yeah, nobody really uses mine.
You ever hear the saying, too many chiefs and not enough Indians?
What? I didn't hear that.
Too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
Oh, I've never heard that saying before.
Really?
I heard that. Don't want to be the leader.
Yep, Zach's right. Zach,
you know what,
dude? Wait, hold on. Zach, you really do need to read into that fucking FBI thing with the Waco, man.
I tried to find out. I couldn't even find what you were talking about. Like, it wasn't.
I put your name into Twitter not that long ago. My new episode comes out in about 30 minutes. I talk about it. There is like the gematria with it. It's completely undeniable why they released it on February 28th, 2023. 2 days after the 30-year anniversary of the World Trade Center bombing, as well, coming up to the 30-year anniversary of Waco. And you guys all know, I am guessing Biden's fate on 4/19. Like, that's my prediction. And I
you know what I'm thinking, man? I think you had some kind of kratom extract. I don't think, like, because it's like a green leaf, which is different from like the things that come in the capsules that goes X whatever. Like the black ones, I would compare them to like Dilaudid. You know what I mean? Where you don't take more than one of them because it's that potent. And if that's like, if you thought you were taking like something like Percocet, then like, yeah, it would be something that's not only the plant. See, heroin is refined something like 27 times.
I'll just go to the gym and I'll get
29 times.
I'll get my energy from working out. I'll get
that's good, man. You get endorphins from that. That's good, man. Working out is great.
My endorphins were great. I need my endorphins.
Yeah, like Larry said, 100 push-ups a day.
I do like 500.
Zach, it's funny. I don't know. Can you? Oh yeah, you're right there. People were criticizing you. I mean, you already know, but like people were saying, "Oh, Zach talked about Derek with the emasculated cats and when he was saying that Derek's emasculated with all the cats." Well, what's funny is I actually have a personal experience with that. I know this gay guy, him and his boyfriend, and they're like openly gay, and they have like 7 cats in their house. They have all these cats. They're like obsessed with cats. So I think that Zach, I think that there actually is like a connection between being gay and having all the cats, because a normal man I haven't seen has so many cats.
You know what? I have some cats, and I have a dog.
Okay.
I used to have a hedgehog, man.
I think after having a dog, I think.
Hold on though. I mean, do you also live with a woman?
I live with 2 women.
Yeah.
And then
if
my
you have a woman in your house and there's cats, okay. But we're talking about single guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Derek's single?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised out in Milwaukee. Milwaukee women are ridiculous, so I'm not surprised.
Do you know, out of all the women in the world, they have like a website that ranks them. America is at the bottom. We have like they say we have the worst women to marry in the world, because they like list off the reasons. It's pretty fun. And like, I love how American women always like talk a good deal and act like they're hot shit. I mean, like, if you go to Brazil, like, you know, the women are very different. You know what I'm trying to say to you?
On my podcast,
Like, you got a fat guy, they're into that kind of shit. It means you can afford to eat. Do you get it?
Be careful when you're dating Latin women. A bunch of them are nuts. They're like schizo crazy.
You don't have to tell me, man. When I was 17 years old, I got raped for 6 months by some stripper who was a cougar. She was like 27, dude. 6 months of my life, dude. Drugging me, Klonopin in my fucking pancakes, dude.
That sucks.
Life's fucked up, dude. I wish her the best, you know what I mean? But at least I got out. I'm happy to be alive.
See, like, that's why I've talked, like, you know, there's always people that talk of whenever Zach talks about like depopulation, there just needs to be some people you just get rid of. It's funny, they're like, oh, but they're human beings and like all this stupid shit. It's like, yeah, but some of these people are like complete pieces of shit.
Well, you know, if the worst thing you've ever had in your life is a splinter, then you don't know pain like the person who's been fucking through hell and high water for all his life.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why Jordan Peterson is like, oh, you know, a state of constant suffering is a state of enlightenment, because you're constantly being enlightened. And I disagree with him. I would say it makes people harder and more rigid and more dismissive of other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, yeah, and people like, you know, a lot of these people that are abusive, it's like they just create like so much negativity in the world, and like, you know, that abusive person abuses their kid, and then that kid, you know, that negative energy spreads to everybody else, and then, you know, maybe they act abusive to more people.
But isn't that the quest? You know, make for yourself the quest to look for the holy grail within yourself and unfold that upon the world around you by doing good deeds, by preparing good actions, and making them for the benefit of all humanity, not just yourself. Like, think about what I said, like, about community and your family being the most valuable things that any person could ever have.
Which we don't have a lot of.
But think about how closed off we are. We all just like shut the door on our neighbors and lock the door, and, you know, like, where is the sense of community in that?
But well, I mean, can you blame anybody for doing it?
If there's community, then people realize that they don't need government because they can protect themselves, they can take care of themselves, and they, you know,
but it's not like that. Like, there's a certain percentage of people who will play the role, and then they'll Machiavellian their way in there to the top, and then that's when they turn into a serpent. Do you get it?
Yeah. But
one of those kinds of people who creep in every cycle, like, wherever there's power, a court is instantly formed around the source of power. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is.
There is a way to stop that, and I think we can still stop that, and we have to stop this shit because, look, I interviewed some college women today because it's spring break where I'm at, right? And they're just like, oh yeah, men, they're supposed to pay for our spring break. They're supposed to, and they don't even like have any emotions or any of these men anymore. And this is talking about like younger generation, like 21, 22 or younger. I'm like, what the fuck? And
it's because they're taught to be good materialists. Like always the next best thing, the next iPhone, the next fucking pancake flipper that can beat your dick for you.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
They're like, all I want is just some dick. And I'm like, I didn't grow up that way. Like
What you need to understand, brother, is that sex is the lowest vibration. And it's almost self-destructive in its nature. Creativity is also, procreation is also destructive for the body. And you have a certain amount of oil, life essence inside of you. And you can either preserve this or you can be a malaka. You know that's a Greek word, yeah? You know this word malaka. It means you beat off so much that you have no brains left.
We're Greek. But Tantra, which is actually Hindu,
it's about controlling that.
It's
about stimulating to a point and then letting it go. But that's the point where ideas come into the mind, where you become awakened, and that's where the enlightenment thing comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about thoughts. It's a creative energy force that forms in the mind. And think about, you are what you eat. So if you eat poison, your thoughts will be poison. Do you get it?
Well, of course, but the problem is that they're dividing the divine union. And a lot of people, if you guys know what the divine union is, think about the symbol of the Merkaba or the Star of David. That is the divine union, the two triangles that merge together. The divine union is Kabbalah's version of yin and yang.
You know what I've seen? When one time I took LSD and it was during the day, I looked at the sun. Do you know what I seen? I seen that symbol inside of the sun, and the sun was black, but the symbol was golden.
And
that told me all I needed to know in this world.
The golden symbol of the divine union is the spiritual connection of Tantra between the female and the male of a great loving connection. They are trying to break that down, the nuclear family, the divine union between the males and the females. They're trying to get the females into being little Thotianas, go out here and be thoughts like
here's the thing.
Cardi B and shit.
They feel like that evolution has played its course in human history, and that it can't go any farther. So, in essence, they're trying to play a role that makes a change of something.
Well, it's a sociological
if you look at those who took the vaccines, they have their DNA altered forever now.
They were doing this shit before those miracle cures.
But all I'm saying, it is like, I listened to a speech Netanyahu gave, and he's like, listen, we did it first. And like, so everyone should do it. But I disagree with that sentiment, because our country should be about freedom. And if you're not free, then as an American, then you're not healthy.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Free, so that's.
You know what's funny?
Do you know where I found my freedom? 50 miles out to sea on a sailboat.
The drink that they have us all on, that they all have us having, like caffeine and soda and coffee and tea and all.
I don't drink soda.
Drink your Pepsi, guys. It'll make your testicles bigger, according to a study from CNN.
So will green tea and ginseng, sauerkraut.
The drink.
Can I say something? Like, can I actually say something now?
Go for it.
Okay. So you okay. Okay, so truth does not exist, aka Sebastian is the most cute and adorable guy ever.
No, you are. Look at how cute he
No,
is.
I tell you. Okay, you wanna play? You wanna play?
Look, I have pictures.
You
Look
wanna
at how
play?
cute he is.
You wanna play? I'll
I
play,
have more
alright.
pictures.
I didn't know this was gonna be a Jerry Springer episode.
No shit.
Just give me a minute. You wanna play? Where's my bag? Here it
Look
is.
at how cute.
Stop it!
See, I have
Oh
picture
my god.
proof.
Wait, is Zach still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, he's there.
Sorry, Zach. It looked like you were frozen.
No, I'm here.
So, Zach, I do have a question for you, and if you just go on your Twitter, I commented on King Richard. If you want to see that FBI file, I already tagged you in it, and it's about Waco, and you're gonna find a lot of interesting stuff, man. It's there's a lot in there. I try to cover it in my episode that's about to come out in 20 minutes, but I feel like you might find some stuff that I couldn't, especially with Gematria. So
I'll check it out.
I mean, there's a reason why February 28th of 2023, that's actually when the Waco siege began. And in single reduction, Waco siege equals 51 and lasted for 51 days.
Indeed. I cover all that in my first book.
That's true. I when I was going over that, I do remember you did cover.
It's a big old
Yeah, you went through the other ciphers a lot more in your first book than your newer one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I get why you stick with the 4 because they keep it simple. Because especially for new people, so a lot of people don't get that.
I would not ever discount Pythagorean mathematics.
Look, guys, look. Look.
Oh man, that was a joke picture I made.
Is that sports Gematria?
What?
I'm just joking.
No, that was me making a funny face. You know what? I was saying earlier. Anyway, the drink that they have that they have everybody on is like they have everybody having soda, they have everybody having coffee, they have everybody having caffeine, like in some way. And what's funny is that caffeine is actually a mutagen. It actually mutates your genetics. It changes your DNA. It's like known that you can look it up. And it does do that. Like well, it's funny the 2 things that they have everybody have. I killed. So I used to have a roach infestation in the house. It was only for like a month. Somebody brought in a box of stuff and had roaches in it, and they got it like in everywhere. So like I bought poison from the store, like all these different like poisons. None of them worked. None of them did anything. So I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm a chemist.
That's the one thing that will survive the apocalypse: roaches and Twinkies.
Well, Twinkies don't last that long. They only last like a month.
Twinkies.
To get rid of my roach infestation, I was like, okay, well, I'm a chemist. I know how to kill animals and stuff. I know how to like their anatomy. So I can figure this out myself. So I got peanut butter and some pieces of cardboard, and I put them like this with the peanut butter in it, so that way like an animal wouldn't eat the peanut butter with the poison. So what I did is I got caffeine pills, ground them up, mixed it in with the peanut butter, and I laid that out for the roaches. And then I laid out another one that was peanut butter mixed with antibiotics. I put them out at different times. So when I put the ones with the antibiotics, I like killed a bunch of them. Then
what kind of antibiotic did you use? Did you use amoxicillin or what?
I don't remember. It was a skin. It was a skin antibiotic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I went to school for chemistry too, so.
I was gonna
cool.
say, if you synthesized caffeine, it'd be so strong that it probably would kill them.
Well, yeah. So then I put the one with the caffeine out, and that actually didn't kill them. But the reason why I did that was because since it changes their genetics, I thought, okay, well, the kids are gonna be deformed, and I was right. Those babies and the kids and the children were like deformed, and they were like walking really slow and like they were all sick. So I killed both with just doing that, and I killed the whole infestation. Like they were everywhere. They were all over the house. But I'm not a dirty person. I don't leave food out and stuff. There's cardboard and paper all over the place, but I never like leave plates out or like leave out food. I'm not that kind of person. All that stuff goes in the trash or goes in the sink. So I didn't really have any food other than that. It wasn't because of me. It was just because I brought in that box. Yeah, I got rid of them with that. It was like they were all over the place, and I put that out, and that's it. I haven't seen another one since.
Almost had a problem with geckos. My sister was moving around from Florida. She brought some geckos with her by accident.
Oh, those are cute. I like those.
They're really
I got a bunch
fucking
of
fast.
those in my house.
Tons of them.
Yeah, I love geckos. They're really cool.
They can regenerate their limbs too.
I like to get some of those. You ever see those fucking gloves that you can climb up buildings and shit with? The gecko gloves. That shit's cool.
Now, I need to ask you a question. Did you say 15% or more when you did that? Because you can only say 15% or more in car insurance by switching to Geico. Haha.
Even a fucking caveman could do it, right? And look, they're making him play the role of the noble caveman. Like, oh, look at me, I'm standing up to power.
That's pretty funny, yeah.
If I could only just remember what I was saying.
Zach, can we get some eyes on that stir fry?
It's under some glass staying warm right now.
Oh, okay. I feel like I gotta see that stir fry.
Top secret.
It's that top secret recipe.
Indeed. Yeah.
Does it have like 201 ingredients?
It does. It does. 56.
Oh, I think I know.
So.
Zach, I don't see you being a guy that likes spicy food. Do you like spicy?
No, we eat a lot of spice. We got chili in our food all the time.
Capsaicin in paprika helps you burn fat. Actually,
yeah, I'm good with spice.
I love them.
It's also good to clean out your arteries. Before bed, I always drink a little bit of olive oil. Because that burns fat too.
Vitamin K clears your arteries.
We're going on a little adventure here.
Yeah, be careful with a lot of vitamin K because it can also increase you to get
your blood
clot, like it increases what is it called when you get your blood coagulation.
There's two types of vitamin K. There's K1 and K2.
I think it's K2.
K2 can help if you have clogged up blood vessels. K2 can
Hey,
help
Zach.
Yeah, exactly.
You see the giant fish?
Oh, yeah.
You know what's up with the giant fish?
I don't.
My father caught this when he was 13 years old.
Sounds like that.
In the Gulf of Mexico.
Nice, man.
Where?
The Gulf of Mexico.
I mean, like what state?
The Gulf of Mexico.
So Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Florida. Where did you get it?
I think it was south of Louisiana.
Oh, okay. So probably near, yeah, that's near New Orleans. What kind of fish is it?
It's a king's sailfish. You can't catch those anymore. It's illegal to even sell it.
All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to wrap up the stream. For everybody who tuned on, is like, this stream is totally mistitled. Yeah, I know. Nobody came on and talked about a single thing in the title today. But the beginning of the video, if you want to rewind to the beginning, that's where I talked about what was actually.
Hey, at least the community's showing up, Zach.
What's that?
I said at least the community's showing up, Zach.
Yeah. So someday people will call in on topic.
I guess we can just call it the Hangout stream.
I know. Anyway.
Well, we appreciate it, Zach. Zach, watch our new episode. It's about to come out here in about 10 minutes.
Okay. I'll watch it when I get a chance. I'm super busy right now, but I will.
All right. Well, everybody have a good night. Stay safe out there. And fuck the Jesuits. Fuck all you guys. Guys can all kiss my ass, all you Jesuits.
All right. Be careful who you're friends with there too. I know you're talking a lot to the chubby one. The one who goes, hey, spend $30 on the subway ticket, and I do it. She goes, hey, you should have spent $33. It's like, that's weird. Isn't that the same number they just used in the ritual down here? So, anyway, I'd be careful about that one.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, guys. We'll leave it there. And until next time.
Till next time.
Take care.